Let me level with you little fuckers. This game could have 5 minutes left in it. It could have 15 hours left in it. I truly don't know at this point. But we're just gonna keep calling it the Ace Attorney Grand Finale until the game actually ends. That's the game plan, as I see it. I believe in my heart of hearts, it's gonna end today. How much more could there possibly be? But that's what I said 1 session ago, that's what I said 2 sessions ago, so I mean, we'll fucking see at this point. Delicious. I was drinking coffee a second ago, I swear. Let's crank it up. Let's crank up the volume. Why not? Okay, we're continuing from where we left off. We were in the middle of the final trial ever. The very last trial, so they claim. Special contents? What? I sure hope it's a picture of Mr. Herlock Sholmes wearing a thong. Something tells me it's probably not that, though. Yeah, that sounds about right. So, this was 2 weeks ago. We did have to miss last week because I developed a horrid case of the coronavirus. So, I mean, there's that. We are a week behind in terms of progress. I'll tell you exactly what was going on. We'll do a brief recap. There is, a big twist where it turns out the Reaper of the Bailey, the big underarching, I would say underarching. It was kind of a subcurrent in the game's narrative of the twisting turmoil, the tempest that was swirling around this game's mysteries, of the Reaper of the Bailey. It turns out it was this dude's brother, it's looking like. It's looking like this dude's brother was actually like a horrible murderer. Or sorry, not the Reaper of the Bailey, the Professor. That's what I meant to say. The greatest serial killer in English history. And he's got a lot of competition, let's be honest. The English are some insane people. But apparently it was this dude's brother. Who would have thought? Not me. I thought it was gonna be that crazy judge guy. And since they were nobles, they were untouchable. For my brother, it was a source of great turmoil. Yeah, his brother was also a noble, but apparently he also murdered all these noblemen. The Professor case was just some dude, apparently this guy's brother, who was like slaughtering the aristocracy one by one. He was like slaughtering all of the noblemen who had done wrong. Some sort of vigilante murderer. And coincidentally, at the same time, the Professor began his terrifying reign. During the time of the Professor killings, my brother did not appear to be himself. And that made you suspect? Suspect what, motherfucker? But it was only once. Not more. Only once? Really? Clint wasn't the culprit. That was my conclusion at the time. And I still believe that now. Do you have any evidence to support that idea? The third victim was the Lord Chief Justice at the time. It was he who had recognized my brother's potential and trained him as a prosecutor. No matter what the circumstances, it's unthinkable that my brother could have killed his friend and mentor. Poor Mr. Van Zeeks, bro. This is so tragic. Maybe there's 2 killers. That would kind of make sense, huh? Maybe one? Maybe the brother did like the bulk of the killing? That would actually kind of make sense. If the brother did the bulk of the killing, but then that one killing was somebody else, of the guy who was his mentor. I don't know, Van Zeeks kind of sounds like he's just covering for his brother at this point. His bread and brother. That is the ultimate, test of character, in my opinion. Like, in real life, for reals, is like, how far do you go for family, right? Like, where is the line drawn? Will you still defend your family if they are just actually a straight-up murderer, and you know it? It's a, you know, there's some sort of loyalty between family versus loyalty to humanity at large. I don't know where to draw that line. I don't know if I'd have it in me to turn in my family if they were vicious murderers. I feel like it's so easy to just turn a blind eye. Seems like that's kind of what Van Zeeks did. He's a sharp fella. He's definitely one of the smartest characters in the game. So it seems unlikely that in his logical mind, he didn't realize that his brother, who just happened to own a giant hellhound, was the vicious murderer who was killing people using a giant hellhound. But, I mean, there's that emotional side, you know? Nobody wants to think their brother is a serial killer. Unicorn moment! That will do. Neither Clint Van Zieks nor Genshin Asogi will walk this earth. Still walk this earth. However much we debate this matter now, we cannot hope to reach a conclusion. But... there are only two extant pieces of evidence from the time. The woebegone ring that acted as the incriminating evidence to condemn Genshin Asogi, and the 3-paged last will and testament penned in black ink and left behind by the man. Passes it to the man, and boom goes the dynamite. Wait, 3 pages? Hold on a second, 3 pages? He's talking about the Asogi testimony, right? Wasn't that 2? Telegram from Japan. It's some sort of paper. The Asogi papers. The last will and testament. It looks like 2 pages on the thing. 1 out of 2. 1 out of 2. Okay, so he slipped up. He slipped up really badly. Huh. Interesting. Did we get this far last week? I feel like this is kind of familiar. I feel like I remember him fucking up really badly last week, but I don't remember how. This is probably what I remember, because this is a huge fuck up. He fucked up so bad. This is actually enormous fuck up. This is like the last will and testament of the person that they thought was the professor serial killer, supposedly. The guy who basically went down for the crime. It's a 2-page document of his last will and testament. It's just really generic. It's like, I love my son, I'm sorry I killed everybody, goodbye. But right here, he says it's a 3-page last will and testament. So that's a pretty huge fuck up. Whoopsie daisy, says Strongheart. That was an oopsie. That's by far the biggest misplay he's ever made. That's like a fucking smoking gun right there. So that means there's a hidden page we don't know about. Interesting. Penned in black ink. The wretched truth of what happened is exactly as I have explained. No, you're a liar. Later today, I will present myself at the Ministry of Justice for whatever sanction is deemed appropriate. That is all. Court is adjourned. No! No! Well, so basically the reason he has to present himself, as he's saying, is because, he knew. He knew that Clint Van Zieks was probably the professor, I believe. I believe that's what they're referring to, I don't remember. He was basically involved in a giant cover-up. That's all he's admitting to. It's very likely that he was much more involved than just covering it up, but that's all he's copping to right now. And he's the judge, so I mean, fuck, what do we do?
Objection! Objection!
Somebody mad. Somebody mad. Yo, we got the fucking judge in the backseat of the car, bro. Somebody mad. Thank you, Kazuma. Me! If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have made this 11th hour discovery. Can you fucking talk faster, bro? It pisses me off so bad when I start the sentence at a certain pace, and the character's just talking slow as fuck. The text in this game is kind of cool, because it changes based on how much they want to emphasize something. Like, sometimes the text goes by super fast and you can just read, and sometimes it goes by like a word by word. It's so slow. And then I just get tripped up. I'm just tripping over my own tongue. What discovery? My lord, I'm afraid. I must insist the trial continue. I beg your pardon? As the court has been reminded today already, we must stop at nothing to uncover the whole truth. And to that end, one particular statement made by somebody in this courtroom moments ago revealed a very subtle contradiction. What contradiction? But all I did was ask the accused one measly little question. Well, it began with Lord Van Zieks and his recollection about his brother. But Lord Strongheart didn't permit the defendant to speak at length. I merely pointed out that we can draw no further useful conclusions here. So what on earth is the contradiction? One of them definitely just said something contradictory. It's time to identify who! It was Lord Strongheart, spoiler alert, I caught it. I picked up on what they was putting down. Lord Strongheart did make an oopsie daisy. He said 3 pages when he was supposed to say 2. Dude, have you ever really considered that? Because I'm a psychopath, I've thought about that at length. Like how hard it would actually be to lie in a courtroom and get away with it. It's people who are dumb think that it's very easy. It would be insanely difficult. You're literally surrounded in a room of intelligent people, and there is somebody in the corner who is typing down every fucking single word you say for the express purpose of using it against you. Like, lawyers don't play that shit, man. You can be telling the truth, and lawyers will spin it to make it look like you lied about something, or that you misrepresented something. It would be incredibly difficult, especially for an extended court sequence like this, where there's just like a back and forth. Like, how the fuck do you keep that story straight? That would be insanely difficult. Nothing but respect. Nothing but respect for my homies who brutally murder people and get away with it. That's a hard gig, man. That's a hard way to make a living. They should have merely just started a OnlyFans and or a Twitch channel instead. Well, if you start a Twitch channel, then you can just be a sociopath as much as you want, and you get paid for it. It's a great deal. Lord Strongheart. It was Lord Strongheart, I'm sure of it. Something he said was slightly off. Come on, Ryanosuke. Think back over his words. Find the problem. By the Clint Van Zee. I already got it, dude. I'm actually way smarter than this game gives me credit for. I already got the contradiction. Neither Clint Van Zeeks nor Genshin Asogi still walk this earth. Can we go ahead and add an editor? Can you go ahead and add an echo effect in post? Monkey editor, who I keep chained to the editing bay, can you go ahead and edit that in post so it sounds like it's echoing? However much we debate this matter now, we cannot hope to reach a conclusion. There are only 2 extant pieces of evidence from the time. The woebegone ring that acted as the incriminating evidence to condemn Genshin Asogi, and the 3-paged last will and testament penned in black ink and left behind by the man. Bad. This is the contradiction. The testimony that we saw, or the last will and testament that we saw, is only 2 pages. So they're clearly concealing a 3rd and final page that's actually the important part. Yeah, Remix would definitely get smacked. Unfortunately, I had to take Blurp out back at old Yeller its ass. The regular channel point blurps are back. I returned those to their rightful place and slightly discounted them to make up for it. But the free subscriber blurps are just gone because I could not get them to work. Remix, to his credit, I asked him to help me out earlier to try to fix it, and it wouldn't work. I tried resetting the cooldown. I tried changing the timing of the cooldown. I tried resetting the browser source, changing all the settings, and the cooldown does not work anymore for some reason. So I had to turn it off. They're back to being just 10 bits for everybody. The way it worked before was that the blurps that are it was always bit-based, right? I just made it so that subscribers have a 100% discount across the board, as a special treat to the subscribers, so that they don't have to pay anything for it. But, sometimes people just... It's the tragedy of the commons. It's the tragedy of the blurpmans. People had this free resource that was infinite and anybody could use, and they destroyed it. They just couldn't help themselves but destroy and ruin it for everybody. I don't know what to say. Except that I'm disappointed. I don't know what to say other than that I'm disappointed. I'm bad. That's a Michael Jackson song in the top left corner. Passes it to the man. Lord Strongheart, would you care to explain? Explain what, counsel? Among the statements you made just a few moments ago, something you said was inconsistent with a certain piece of evidence we have. Inconsistent? Wow, they're really driving this home. I feel like it's extremely obvious, but maybe I just got lucky in picking up on it. It seems very obvious, and they've driven it home 8 times in a row. And Wilson, inconsistency remains. The defense has a right to pursue an explanation. Ryanosuke, what? Let me warn you about the statements you are making, counsel. They may very well prove fatal. You claim my words contained a contradiction? With what piece of evidence, I ask you? Bro, 2 does not equal 3. Put a little slash mark through that equal sign, sucker. Boom! This here is the will left behind by Mr. Asogi. The 2-paged will. What? Yet moments ago, your precise words were... The 3-page Last Will and Testament. Could it be that originally there was a 3rd page? No. For a moment, I thought perhaps you'd identified something worthwhile, but it's a mere trifle, I see. A trifle? Governor Caden.
Hey, what can I do for you, sir?
You were present when the Japanese man penned his last will and testament.
Aye, I was there for sure. I remember the black, wear-em-like scrolls to this day.
What is a wear-em? Fun question. What the fuck is a wear-em? Whoops, Warham. That's gotta be some sort of Scottish thing. I think this guy's supposed to be Scottish, but I can't tell.
And I'm quite certain, my lord, there was a 3rd page at the time.
His voice has just... I've completely devolved into pirate at this point. I can't keep Scottish and pirate differentiated.
What? Only the first 2 pages were the actual will, though. If I mind correctly, the 3rd was a message to his lad back in Japan.
For legal purposes, we only required his will.
And we wouldn't have wanted any uncomfortable words about Britain to get back to Japan, eh? So it was decided that the 3rd page ought nae to be sent.
Objection!
How dare you make that decision? I had a right to know what it said, to hear my father's final words to me.
The courtroom is no place for sentimentality, counsel.
As it happens, I have the 3rd page of the document with me here now. My father's message!
It will be given to you at the end of these proceedings.
It'll be too late once the trial is over. We need to know what it says now. Even the slightest thing may give us a vital clue. My lord, the defense calls for Genshin Impact's last words to his son, to be read out loud before the court now.
Your request is denied. The inevitably maudlin words can be of no consequence now.
Objection!
The prosecution agrees. I want to know what my daddy said. Every possible piece of evidence must be thoroughly examined.
Very well then, I guess that changed my mind for some reason. Governor Caden. You will read the 3rd page of the document for all present to hear.
I feel like this guy specifically, Strongheart, if you don't include the hair, he looks exactly like one of the Who's down in Whoville from that live-action Grinch movie we watched last night. Like, from the face down, he looks exactly like he would be a Who down in Whoville from the live-action shitty Jim Carrey Grinch movie. It's just the hair. The hair throws it off, because everybody in that movie had, like, the weird curly hair to the sides. He doesn't have that. The only character who has the curly hair, and there is one for some reason, is this dude. Dale. Dale Vigil. Wakabi just logged on to Pokemon Unite. Harass this asshole right now. Harass Wakabi for logging on to Pokemon Unite. I'm glad that Wakabi likes Pokemon Unite so much. Wakabi found a game that just like fucking speaks to his soul, man. He found a game that he has a soul link with. And it just so happens to be a shitty MOBA game. No, in fairness, I played Pokemon Unite like once or twice. And I don't like MOBAs, but it's way better than like fucking League of Legends and shit. I actually enjoyed my time with Pokemon Unite. I thought it was fun. I played as Mickey the Marsupial. There was like this yellow cat that punched people with electric fists. I played as that guy. It was pretty good. It was pretty fun. I thought that, in my experience with MOBAs, I'm no MOBA head. I played a good amount of League of Legends when I was like 13 years old, but in my experience with MOBAs, the most fun I had... No! I don't suck at MOBAs. I'm the Goba. That's the god of MOBAs. The most fun I had was Heroes of the Storm, the World of Warcraft one, and Pokemon Unite. Because both of those games, you're just like racking up hundreds of kills. It's fun. In League of Legends, it's like so slow, and you just like grind monsters for the first 20 minutes of the game. But in those games, you just murder people, which is a lot more appealing to me personally. You just like attack other players and beat them up. Like Heroes of the Storm, you would consistently end the match with like 20 plus kills.
You will read the document for all to hear.
Yes, sir!
Only I should point out, my lord,
And I can actually read Warem language. This beautiful handwriting. Oh, this is definitely the... Who is this? Shame on you, Barry. What? Professor Mikatoba? How are you going to say shame on you for not being able to read Japanese if you're Japanese?
If I could be of assistance here, I would be happy to translate the words into English for the court.
Father!
You're still here, are you, Dr. Mikatoba? Naturally, I consider myself a member of the judiciary, albeit a lowly one. But perhaps I should quietly withdraw after I've translated Genshin's message. Your cooperation is much appreciated. Bum 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 ticka dong dong. Kazuma, the truth is shrouded in darkness, a darkness only our great clan's sword can pierce. Mighty Karuma, twist thy head and watch them fall, all thy mortal foes.
Oh my god. I called that shit so hard, bro. It's the sword.
Bam, 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 bam. That's the end of the message, it would seem.
Oh my god, it's definitely the sword. It's 100%, but I've examined the sword 10,000 times. How have I missed this the whole time? There's clearly, he's hidden some shit with the sword. Probably the blackmail. This guy had like blackmail over the government, and that's why they had to go along with his crazy shenanigans that he requested. But I've examined this like 800 times. I would have thought under the wrap. How about the handle? No. So where the fuck is it hidden? He's not speaking metaphorically, bro. There's no way he's speaking metamorphosis-phorically. Is it inside the sheath? No. What the dude? Is he speaking metaphorically in his fucking final words? Who the fuck uses their final words to speak metaphorically?
That's the end of the message, it would seem.
A haiku poem? Twist thy head? Well, when in Rome, fucking kills himself. Father!
What is Karuma?
The name of the Asogi clan's famous sword. A razor-sharp blade known to all, passed down for generations. It embodies the Japanese spirit. It's not known to me. Yes, it is, Van Zeeks. He literally fucking has it on his hip right now in his 9-iron. Pussy. That bitch keeps it in a golf bag. How am I today? I'm doing fucking fantastic today. I'm doing beautifully today. I've had a productive Saturday evening. And by evening, I mean morning through afternoon. The weather is so frightful outside today. It's actually great. It was storming here where I live for like the past fucking 3 weeks, but it stopped for the last week or so. So it's finally been nice again. My dog, however, has been conditioned, like Pavlovian conditioning, to just be afraid to ever go outside now. She refuses to ever go outside because she's afraid that it's gonna be all wet and muddy. So she just doesn't want to. She just now, like, refuses to go outdoors like fucking SpongeBob. I don't know what the fuck her problem is, but she's refusing. She's refusing to cooperate and actually leave the fucking house. That's kind of what she sounds like, yeah, when she's fucking whining and crying about that shit. It's annoying as hell. My dog is so fucking prissy that she just doesn't like to get, like, her hands wet, you know? Like, if she has to walk outside, she wants it to be completely dry and pristine so that she can walk around and not get her fucking hands all wet and dirty. So now, I don't know what to do, because she's just, like, whenever she goes outside, she'll walk, like, 1 foot out the door and then just stand there.
It's not known to me.
It's the katana sword that was submitted as evidence earlier in these proceedings. The one worn by the prosecution counsel when he confronted Inspector Greg Gron. A last will and oh, somebody wanna beat me with a unicorn.
All these procrastinations are beginning to try my patience. Adjournment of the court is long overdue. As the presiding judge, I have been accommodating as possible to the will of the courtroom. However, despite all that, no new information has come to light.
true. So true, King. We just keep going in circles, dog. Yeah, she's being a completely dumb hound lately. I don't know why. It's pissing me off, though. She doesn't want to go out. She would never be able to complete the Ace Attorney Chronicles. Kazuma, the truth is shrouded in darkness, a darkness only our clan's great sword can pierce. Mighty Kuruma, twist thy head and watch them fall. All thy mortal foes. Mighty Kuruma, twist thy head and watch them fall. We've already inspected the sword like 8 times. Maybe Kazuma himself? Maybe it's his headband or something? I don't fucking know. I don't know what else it could be. Is it this? Is it Asogi's ring? Maybe this used to be on the head of his sword. Maybe this used to be like embedded in the hilt or something. No, okay, it's still the same thing as usual. Huh. Twist thy head and watch them fall. Mighty Kuruma. I'm just looking to see if there's any, like, head-based new evidence to look at, but there's really not. I'm gonna check the sword one last time, just to make sure I didn't forget anything or miss anything, because it really sounds like it wants me to look at the sword, doesn't it? Twist, Mighty Kuruma, that's the name of the sword. Twist thy head and watch them fall. The gray oh, but remember the tip is embedded in Gregson's luggage right now. So maybe the tip of the sword is what he's referring to as the head. Maybe I gotta check out the chip of Kuruma that's lodged inside of Gregson's bagging. Wait! I looked at this 80 times! Are you fucking kidding me? Mighty Kuruma, twist thy head and watch them fall, all thy mortal foes! That's the proper way to use the sword, is it? Maybe I should try it. It hurts my neck, that's the trouble. Mr. Naruhodo, if I might make a suggestion? I think perhaps it doesn't mean your head. Oh. I once studied the history and development of the katana some time ago. And as I'm sure you're probably aware, the sword's head is the part at the very end of the hilt. Bro, I swear to God I looked at this 47 times. I don't know how I missed this. I don't know how I possibly... You could even look back 5 minutes ago in the footage and see me hover over that exact fucking spot and nothing was happening. It's written as head in Japanese, but it's pronounced as Kashira, I believe. Kashira? So Mr. Asogi's words really mean twist the butt of the hilt? You don't think. There you go. Okay, there it is. There it fucking is. Perfect. I'm so mad. Why? Why are you fucking trolling me, video game? It's the fucking end of the game, and you're gonna pull a fucking fast one on me. Oh well, it worked out. Ah, look what's inside it. Is that a tightly wound sheet of parchment? Scarlet ink. Oh my god. Last session they said the scarlet ink was super important. Some dead guy's hand had scarlet ink on it, but I can't remember who. Maybe Clint? That would kind of make sense, but I don't remember. Scarlet ink! It's written in scarlet ink! I pen this, my last will and testament, in the final moments before my inevitable and willing death. This is it, isn't it? Mr. Naruhodo, look at the signature! Clint Van Zeeks, and the date, 10 years ago on that fateful night! So for 10 years, it's been silently concealed inside Kuruma and nobody knew. The last will and testament of Lord Van Zeeks. That's crazy, bro. Wait, oh my fucking god. Look at this. This is unbelievable. A trump card left behind by Genshin Asogi. Yeah, so basically, if you guys didn't catch the last part, the secret identity of the vicious serial killer known as the Professor was Clint Van Zeeks, aka Lord Van Zeeks' older brother who died 10 years ago. And, he is a vicious serial killer who was murdering the British aristocracy like all the nobles. Problem is, he was also a nobleman. So there was an intense effort to cover it up by the government. Presumably because, like, if it got out that if a nobleman that was killing other noblemen, it would be a massive scandal. It would just be a massive scandal that would rock the nation. So this was the guy's, like, silver bullet, basically. They wanted to throw this dude under the bus completely and just sweep it under the rug. This random Japanese dude who was visiting the country. And this was like his secret weapon that he's been hiding all this time. And so his hope, I guess, was that someone would eventually discover it and uncover the truth. That he didn't do nothing. He didn't do nothing wrong. A trump card left behind by Genshin Asogi. Cool.
Oh shit. Oh fuck. In pursuit of justice, Lord Clint Van Zieks tragically lost all sense of morality. When he murdered his former mentor, clearly he was already devoid of his normal faculties.
Objection!
How dare you! I refuse to believe that of my brother. Too much time has passed. We cannot ever hope to know more than we do now. Especially since the alleged will that he penned in his final moments appears to have been lost forever.
Yeah, about that, bro. About that. We just fucking found it.
Lord Strongheart, you appear to be in something of a hurry to wrap things up. I wonder why. We've heard you state time and time again during these proceedings that everything you did was in the interests of protecting British law and order. And I stand by that. Without the Reaper, we could never have achieved the reduction in crime the capital has seen.
Objection.
What about Inspector Gregson, then?
And Dr. Wilson. They were no criminals. You used them to achieve your ends, and then you had them killed.
However you dress it up, there was nothing fair or just about that. Lord Strongheart, what exactly is it that you're hiding? Dr. Mikatoba, were you not to quietly withdraw after the translation of your former associate's will?
Oh, got him. He fucking pulled rank on that bitch.
In this courtroom, no argument carries weight unless it is supported by evidence.
I just found evidence, pussy! Stupid ass Strongheart. Blurp Clinton. Yeah, unfortunately, Blurp Clinton, aka Remix, had Blurp killed while Blurp was in prison awaiting his trial. All of the Blurp security cameras and the Blurp guards were mysteriously missing on that fateful day when Blurp was killed. It was found with several broken vertebrae in the back of its neck.
It would seem that the defense has no more evidence to present.
Nah, I just found evidence 2 seconds ago, bro.
In which case, I hereby order all discourse from these proceedings to be struck from the record.
Blurpstein did kill himself, B-Machine. Don't say that. I'm gonna strike that shit from the record, bro. Blurpstein definitely killed himself. He broke his own neck in 7 places, okay, while the guards were sleeping and the cameras were down. It was normal. It was just a normal proceeding. Oops. It was just a regular jail oopsie. Shut up, just cuz, bruh. Just because I don't have a shiny Psyduck doesn't mean nothing, okay? I still have swag. Did you finish your Cuzbro dex? Just Cuzbro, did you finish the Pokédex yet? I still haven't even come close to finishing it. If we finish Ace Attorney today, I might work on my Pokédex a little bit on stream.
I hereby order all discourse from these proceedings to be struck from the Discord. This is my last chance.
Mr. Naruhodo!
I have to present some decisive evidence now, or it's all over.
But can I? Oh yeah, I've got evidence, bitch. I've got so much evidence. I'm actually mad about this, though. The fucking evidence that they want me to present is this. Clint Van Zieks' will. And it was literally hidden inside of this fucking sword that I've inspected 800 fucking times. But you just have to progress far enough into the story for you to be able to actually find it. It was hidden inside the tip, inside the hilt. I've inspected the hilt 47 distinct times. 100%. I've looked at the hilt a million times. I guess I just wasn't far enough in the game yet.
Wait, my lord! As it happens, the defense does have evidence to present. What? Don't be absurd. There is nothing of relevance remaining from the time.
Objection!
It's high time that you realized something, my lord. This gentleman has an uncanny habit of producing evidence at the final hour that had escaped everyone else's attention. Nonsense.
What is it, Ryunosuke? What do you have? I know what it is. It's that piece of fucking paper. I dare say, the final, decisive piece of evidence that will reveal the whole truth about this rotten tale. How can you...
Decisive? Well, it would appear there's no escaping it now, my lord. Let it be so, then. Present whatever you think you have that can settle this decade-old enigma, if you're capable. What exactly is this evidence that the defense claims to be so decisive?
It's Clint Van Zeek's will. Bank, 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 bank. Only 60 mons left? That is actually pretty good. I think I only have like 200 in my Pokédex. I don't think I'm even close to finishing the Pokédex. It's annoying. It's annoying to finish the Pokédex. I'm really glad that I waited till I could just mass buy quick balls because it's making it way quicker to catch them. But it's so annoying to go back and like find the right habitat and stuff.
Take that!
Take that!
There is a single piece of evidence that can clarify what really happened 10 years ago.
The last will and testament of Lord Clint Van Zeeks.
Ha! A wonderfully astute observation, I'm sure. But in case it had escaped your notice, that document was lost long ago.
That's right, it was. Only,
I have it right here. Discovered just moments ago.
Oh my god, what the fuck? That's what Strongheart should sound like. That should be his voice. Impossible! That can't be!
Everything that's happened comes back to this will. This document is the key that will unlock the entire mystery. Gargo!
This bitch just said Gargergo live on chat. What a fucking chode.
My brother's last will and testament. Where did you find that? It was rolled up inside this. My ass. Inside Kuruma. That ultimate weapon Genshin Asogi obtained has lain undisturbed in the hilt of this sword all these years. Just waiting for the right time to emerge and reveal the truth. The signature and seal certainly look official. My God, it's true! It's my brother's handwriting. There can be no mistake.
Ooh, that's actually pretty good. Only 10 left. Just because once you have all the Pokemon, you should just trade them all back and forth in these so I can figure out my Pokédex too. That way I have to capture 0.
I forbid the contents of that document from being read out. Do you hear me? I strictly forbid it.
Objection!
You can't do that, my lord. This document could explain everything. That document could literally destroy the meaning of justice in this country. I demand that you hand it to me at once. Why? What are you trying to hide? Could it be that you already know what's written on this page? What are you implying? Court is adjourned with immediate effect. Clear the courtroom.
I'm saving too. Okay, so final trial. We're moving into the final trial. But this is the real final trial, though. For real this time. This dude can't even catch 400 Pokemon. Yo, guess what? Because there's too dang many. Next Pokemon game, I'm going to need them to go ahead and cut the decks in half again real quick. Only 200. And then I could catch 80 of those and then say they need to cut the decks again down to 100. And then we can finally reach a manageable amount of monsters.
Objection! Clear the courtroom.
Super kick.
Do that, my lord, and you'll suffer a fatal blow as Lord Chief Justice.
I want for one single time when he does the karate kick pose, they should just have no shoes that he has hyper-realistic feet with big green stink lines coming off him. He's crinkling his toes. I think that would just be really cool. It would really add a lot to the cool narrative of this game. It would make it a much more deep mystery to solve.
I beg your pardon? Forcibly ending a trial without good reason, and not any trial. A closed trial by order of Her Majesty the Queen. To defy the monarch's will is treason. Hulk smash.
No, just cuz, bruh. Lord Clint Van Zieks really did pen a will that day. It's exactly as the young Japanese man said.
Read it out, now.
We have a right to hear what's in that will.
Well, my lord, or should I say, will. It would rather appear as though proceedings aren't going quite as you'd hope. You fools.
Go ahead, Ryunosuke. Read it! He said you can't read it. You're gonna get a mistrial, bitch. You're gonna cause a mistrial. The prosecution gives its full support.
Very well then. No, for God's sake. No!
This bitch just found out Padme died. That's so sad. That's actually so tragic.
I penned this, my last will and testament, in the final moments before my inevitable and willing death. The hour is 11 p.m., and I sit at my writing desk in my office. My good friend Asogi stands at my shoulder. He has expressed his intent to invoke the dying ritual of the duel, that I may depart this world with honor. An honor of which I am utterly undeserving. The Japanese are a truly merciful people. Never ask them what happened during World War II in Nanking. I, Clint Van Zieks, Lord of the Manor of the Van Zieks Estate, hereby confess to the following. I am the killer who has come to be known in society as the Professor, guilty of 4 counts of murder. I will not here discourse the corruption rife among the aristocracy, which is to me, as one of them, so apparent. However, 6 months ago, I took the life of a member of the House of Lords at the heart of the depravity. A demon who habitually sacrificed the common man to further his own interests, abusing his position of power. The law is impotent against such vile avarice. Only a fellow demon can rid society of this menace.
Oh my god.
Yeah, bro, send your dog.
This dude basically murdered a bunch of British aristocracy with his own dog, which is fucking awesome. He might be the most based video game character in human history. He just basically had a giant black dog eat a bunch of British people. That demon was my quarry, upon whom I willingly set my great hound. But though I am a hunter of some experience, I am a poor felon, it seems. My guilt was at once recognized by another, and I became subject to his extortion. That's so true. It wasn't even him, bro. He innocent. It was the dog who was behind it all. The dog is definitely standing in the corner doing a Scooby-Doo laugh because he's getting off scot-fucking-free. He's still free to roam and murder again. The true professor is at large. He's eating fucking Scooby snacks to this very day. He fucking flew to Belize to retire. He went to fucking Argentina. He joined NASA. Oh no, my USB device is not recognized? The professor must know what's going on and he's trying to silence me. Yeah, this guy actually did nothing wrong. It was his fucking evil ass fucking dog. It was his evil fucking mutt. The mutt is definitely standing in the corner, slightly off camera while he's writing this letter, just doing the Chihuahua twerk. He's definitely doing the Chihuahua twerk in the corner as we speak. My guilt was at once recognized by another, and I became subject to his extortion. Oh, okay, so that's what happened. That's why he killed his friend. What's the guy's name? Strongheart? Lord Strongheart figured out first, before everybody else, because he's so smart and well-connected, that this dude was the professor, and so he basically blackmailed him into doing murders for him. That makes sense. That actually explains literally everything. Very nicely. Ties it all up with a bow. This game had such a good overarching mystery, I gotta admit. This game is actually like a super solid mystery. I like it a lot. I like it way better than the first one overall. Yeah, that's the dog. That's the fucking professor in the corner. That's the Houndy of the Baskervilles, aka the professor, just dancing away. Because he knows that this dude's taking the fall. He held me over the threat of exposing my wicked crime to my beloved wife and brother. Under that threat, I have done this man's bidding for months now, killing those he demanded I kill. As I watched my former mentor perish before my eyes at the jaws of the hound I commanded, I realized that I had lost the last shred of decency within me, and sunk to the level of a wild beast. There is no path back to the light.
Be it I or my dear friend Asogi who dies this night, I am eternally damned. To my extortioner, male Strongheart, may you feel the jaws of the beast at your throat every time you swallow.
You should have played a barking sound effect when it showed the dog real fast. What if instead of the flash of the hound, it was the flash of the gif of the chihuahua twerking? That'd be fucking awesome, bro. That would have been so much more dramatic. Damn it, they missed a golden opportunity.
So now we know. Yes, Clint Van Zieks was a murderer. But somebody was directing him and naming his victims. His extortioner, Lord Male Strongheart. It was you!
He's smiling, bro. He doesn't feel the jaws of the beast at his throat every time he swallows at all.
Lord Strongheart, a moment ago, you claimed that what the court has just heard could destroy justice in this country. But you weren't trying to protect justice at all. All you were trying to do was conceal the secret of your true nature and the countless lives you've sacrificed up until now. It just didn't make sense to me that the third victim, the former Lord Chief of Justice, was my brother's benefactor and a man of lofty principles. As I said, Clint had no possible reason to kill the man. But you did, didn't you, Lord Strongheart? To eliminate the man who stood between you and the office you'd set your sights on. So you used your own hunting dog, Lord Clint Van Zieks, to take him down. It had to be done. London's unsavory shadows are deep, and the arm of the law fails to reach their depths. Crime must be cut off at the roots, but the Lord Chief Justice at the time couldn't see that. He was weak. Lofty principles, you say? Tantamount to cowardice, if you ask me. Which is why I took his place, in order to fight the crime he was allowing to spread like wildfire. By murdering the man, the Reaper, the Professor, the name makes no difference. As I've explained countless times already, it was all done for the furtherance of law and order in London.
That's so crazy, bro. He was both of them. I'm impressed that they somehow managed to pull a twist over on me with the most obvious character ever. Like, everybody knew this guy was gonna turn out to be evil. But I feel like it was gonna be one or the other, right? I thought he was either gonna be the Professor or the Reaper. I didn't think his ass was both. That's actually a pretty cool twist. That's a pretty good twist, I won't lie. And it ties into the Hound of the Baskervilles theme too, because he didn't do any of it himself. He was just using the legendary image of the Reaper, the ghost of Van Zieks' brother. He was trying to create this like mythic image of this magical killer so no one would suspect him. Which is the story of the Sherlock Holmes story, The Hound of the Baskervilles, except in that story it was a dog, in this story it was a British person. There's not much difference between those two concepts, but it's a slight distinction. They're almost the same thing. Lord Dogheart. He basically is. He got that dog in him. If we took the x-ray of his chest right now, there would be at least 8 twerking chihuahuas in there. 100%.
Objection!
Are you going to legitimize the murder of my father now too? Ah, Genshin Asogi. Well, that was unfortunate. I had fully intended to send him back to Japan as we'd agreed.
I don't believe you. It was you, wasn't it? You killed him.
No, it wasn't me who took your father's life.
Then who? Oh no!
On the night following his mock execution, I went to Logate ceremony at cemetery. Why the fuck did I say ceremony? At 3 in the morning with Jigoku.
Judge Jigoku?
There had to be a collaborator on the Japanese side to manage Asogi's treatment after his repatriation. Jigoku had fierce ambition. It made him easy to manipulate. 10 years ago, after he'd stood trial for the destruction of the witness stand, I had words with him. When I told him the position of Minister of Foreign Affairs could be his, he couldn't agree fast enough.
Oh my god. Joju is so evil, bro. It's unfortunate you didn't win. When he told him that the position of Game of the Year could be his for only the price of 5 Primo Gems, he could not vote fast enough. He simply couldn't. His sausage-ass fingers were slamming that button.
Seishiru, you fool!
As you know, Asogi escaped the prison in a closed casket and was subsequently interred. We intended to dig him out of his grave before he ran out of air. But sadly, all did not go to plan.
What the fuck?
Oh, it's that guy. That's right. The fucking stupid mechanic vampire dude showed up. I want Jeff Gems. I want Jeffy Gems too. Ever since Jem lifted that child who said Bill Clinton up by the neck and crushed him into alchemy dust live on stage, I've wanted some of the fabled Jeff Gems that give him his supernatural power. Jeff Keighley has access to deep, dark, satanic powers, and I want some of them. That's how he was able to summon that demon girl to sing that song live on stage.
You're gone.
Yeah, you're gone. Yeah, this dude came to Lowgate Cemetery and he saw the skeleton dancing on top of the grave and it scared him so bad.
There was an unexpected visitor to the cemetery with his own ideas about digging up graves. A man who had witnessed what nobody was supposed to see. Enoch Drebber! Of course, I knew grave robbers frequented London cemeteries, but that grave on that particular night.
Blast! Oh, this is the other guy.
If people find out the convict wasn't really executed, the scandal will rock the very foundations of the empire.
And what do we do?
Shoot him, Mr. Jigoku. Shoot Asogi at once! He can't live now that this has happened. He has to go!
I don't remember the other guy's voice. What are you talking about? We had an agreement. You promised he could return to Japan.
Everything has changed now. If the truth got out because of this, both of us would be finished forever! Come on, Jigoku, do it! Don't be a pussy, pull the trigger! Shoot!
Dang, dude, Judge Jigoku is so evil. That was his homie. That was his Japanese homie.
Jigoku shot Asogi from the shadows. The grave robber was so close, the blood sprayed over his coat. He fled as fast as his legs would carry him. Then, Jigoku and I put Asogi's body back in the grave from which he just emerged. When I later learnt of the waxwork modeler's presence at the scene as well, I made her swear to two things. Never to remove the professor's mask, and never to speak of the events that night. And with that, the secret was buried along with Asogi's corpse. So, now you know what really happened in Lowgate Cemetery that night.
That does explain everything. That was one of the things that just never got answered in that trial was like, what the fuck was actually up with Asogi getting murdered again? Basically, the order of events, which never made sense, I think we talked about how little it made sense, was that Asogi was wrongfully convicted of being the professor, right? Then there was this obviously inside job orchestrated jailbreak where he wasn't really executed and he was just buried alive. And then he got out of the grave, like he escaped from the grave and emerged, and then was just immediately shot to death, which made no sense. Like, it was very unclear why he was shot to death after so much effort was put into faking his jailbreak. Like, if they really wanted him dead, why not just execute him, right? That's why. I guess that explains it. It was because of Enoch Deacon. Elden Ring sweep. No remix. There was no Elden Ring sweep. God of War was the true game of the year. Because there was no character nearly as angry or as bald in Elden Ring as Kratos could be. And it's not close either. Elden Ring gets fucking cleared. Elden Mid got cleared by God of Goat. Goat of War. That does explain everything. Thank you, Judge. Can you arrest yourself now? Can you convict yourself of murder?
It was Jigoku, your Japanese acquaintance, who killed Asogi in the end, you see. He claimed to be the man's friend, but when push came to shove, he pulled the trigger.
Just before Mr. Jigoku left the courtroom earlier, he said that the assassin exchange proposal was a demand from his British counterpart, not a request. So you coerced him too?
Using what happened in the graveyard?
By that time, Jigoku was the Minister of Foreign Affairs, negotiating international treaties within Britain. You can imagine what would have happened if it came to light he'd murdered a compatriot 10 years earlier. He would have lost everything. I merely reminded him of that.
How do you sleep at night?
These past 10 years, I've fought tirelessly with the darker recesses of London's criminal underworld. And I've used whatever means necessary to ensure that justice prevails and law and order reign supreme.
That couldn't be further from the truth. The fact is, you haven't fought crime at all.
How dare you! I saved Clint Van Zieks from dishonor in his death.
Objection!
Whilst behind the scenes, you systematically buried anyone who stood in your way. And then, you made my father take the blame.
It was unavoidable. It was the only way to protect our justice system and public order.
Let's not forget the others you had killed as well. Setting the defendant up as the Reaper to cover up the truth behind the murders of countless more.
That's enough! Do you have any idea of the conniving that led to the acquittals of those wretched criminals? We have to fight fire with fire. Our courts can't function without a Reaper. Can't you see all I've done for this country? This has been my struggle.
Oh, don't say it like that, dude. Don't say it like that, man. Don't talk about my struggle. That never ends well, bro. Yeah, I do like how much of a hypocrite this guy is. It's pretty great. He's a good villain. He's a great villain. He's obsessed with this notion of like law and order specifically. That's like his main obsession. It's like everything running like clockwork, right? No pieces out of place. But then he's a complete fucking hypocrite because he operates outside of the law. He just extrajudicially murders people, which is kind of the opposite of law and order. If there's a spectrum between law and chaos, murdering people outside of the courts because you think they should die is definitely pretty hard on the chaos side. That doesn't really line up with a worldview obsessed with order.
Objection!
You've done nothing! It's Lord Van Zieks here who's worked tirelessly and justly in court, whilst enduring the disgrace of the Reaper's name. And Inspector Gregson, fraught with anguish for having sullied his hands through a desire to do the right thing. Not to mention Genshin Impact, who risked his life going in the pursuit of truth you tried to hide. No, the darker recesses of London's underworld were largely filled by you.
You little? Why, you little?
Oh, dude, his face is going completely nuts, bro. His face is going totally nuts at this point. He's so sunk. You know you're sunk when you turn into a fucking Project Zomboid live in the courtroom.
When will you get it through your thick skulls?
Oh, he's going full walk-up-y on this one. Oh, shit. He's pissed. Hey, what's up, Ameliatar? How you feeling? You feeling better now from your horrible illness? It turns out I had COVID too, so I've been dealing with that the last week. Luckily, I got a super fucking mild version, because I really haven't felt that bad at all. It mostly just fucked me up really badly, like, because I couldn't go into the office, I couldn't do anything productive, but I felt fine. It was really annoying.
And it was all for the Queen and country? I'm tiring of that excuse. You've consistently twisted the truth for bargaining power to make others do your bidding. Nothing more. People who willingly twist the truth and coerce others have no right to call themselves part of the judiciary. I strongly suggest you don't ever talk of justice again, bitch.
Grr. Gar. Gwar. Gura.
Gog!
Oh, somebody's so mad. He's so mad that he began to fucking vibrate, which is how you know somebody's pissed off. Oh, you taking it again tomorrow? I probably will as well. Because, I feel better now. But I definitely need to, like, actually take the test. Oh, he's clapping! He's happy about it, too. Well, I'm glad you're feeling better. Nice.
Well, well, well. Dear me, my good fellows, dear me. A well-deserved round of applause, I think, for a quite marvelous performance.
What are you talking about?
Those delightfully grave expressions, that beautifully pronounced Queen's English.
He's clapping so fast. It's actually a problem.
Really, our friends from the Far East are quite the picture of industriousness.
You fraud! Keep your mockery!
Please don't misunderstand. It really is exactly as you both said.
What are you trying to say?
I have occupied the darker recesses of London's underworld, and, how did you put it, done nothing? I confess it's a little embarrassing to have it pointed out quite so starkly, but yes, I really have done nothing. Which means, I can be indicted for nothing. No?
Oh, fucking got him, bro. We gotta get him on something. But I feel like the thing we're most likely to catch him on is that he's lying about the Lowgate Cemetery shit. If we had to catch him on something that he actually did, because that was like a do or die moment. The rest of the stuff, it seems like it could very easily be him actually just manipulating people to do things. But the Lowgate Cemetery thing, like somebody had to kill the guy. And if Jagogu didn't want to do it, then it had to be him. Because we haven't even heard Jagogu's side of the story. He didn't get to defend himself yet. We just kind of accepted what this dude said is truth. He's clapping pretty fucking loudly, yeah. He's going nuts with it. Or he was. He definitely wanted to see the Elden Ring sweep. He started clapping so loud when that kid said Bill Clinton. What?
It's true. Personally, I have committed no crime. I've merely been surrounded by fools who've acted very rashly indeed.
You can't get away with that. You've consistently preyed on people's weaknesses.
And what? Threatened them? Are you sure it wasn't just bargaining?
I don't know if that's how that works, bro. You can't just tell people to murder somebody and then you don't get in trouble for it. Then again, it's England. It's England in, what, 1890? Maybe it was legal to tell people to murder people back then.
I would like to address all the good lords, ladies, and gentlemen of the judiciary here present. You all know of these darker recesses in our great capital, and deep down, I believe you also know that to fight those who dwell there requires at least some of us to occupy the darkness ourselves. So let me appeal to your good sense now. Consider the situation with me. If this catalogue of horrifying revelations were to become common knowledge among the 6 million inhabitants of London,
Mario emoji?
What might happen? To learn that the infamous murderer of royals and nobles was a respected member of the aristocracy himself. That evidence was fabricated in the scapegoat's trial amid secret negotiations with prosecutors to effect a jailbreak. That the Reaper of the Bailey was an organized group of assassins managed by a Scotland Yard inspector. And finally, that it was all masterminded by the Lord Chief Justice himself.
If the general public of Britain knew the truth, all faith in the police and prosecutor's office would be completely lost, without doubt. Public order in the capital would completely break down. We'd be cast back to the lawless days of the last century. Come on, man, where's Sholmes? We need Sholmes to bust in here and knock some sense into these fools. They're all starting to get swayed by his honeyed words. This dude he's a silver-tongued devil, that Lord Strongheart. He definitely has a 10 in charisma. On the New Vegas scale, not the D&D scale.
Precisely, as it was 100 years ago, when 1 in 10 of the population were criminals.
Is that real? In the year 1800, was 1/10 of England comprised of criminals? That actually makes so much sense. That kind of explains everything. Man, the English suck. 1 in 10 England? That's a lot. That's entirely too many. To be fair, I'm sure if you lined it up, this was way before there was any sort of social safety net, so I bet if you lined up the numbers between unemployment and criminals, it was probably pretty 1-to-1. Like 10% of England being unemployed in that year and being criminals, that's probably about right. I could see that. Oh, real fucking mature just cause, bro. Boobies? Did you really fucking make your code boobies? That's so immature. Listen, I like boobies as much as the next man, but that doesn't mean you have to make it your own code in Pokemon. It's a Pokemon game, for Pete's sake. Show a little class.
Think what we've accomplished since then. A public policing force, a comprehensive set of laws. And if we want to continue to protect this new era of law and order, I say again, we must at times occupy the darkness ourselves.
Oh my god. He's starting to pull me over to his side, man. He's so true. He's basically evil Batman. He's like the evil equivalent of Batman. That is, you know when people always say, I wish Batman would just kill the criminals? This is what happens. This is literally what you get. That's why you're wrong. If Batman killed the criminals, you just end up with this dude. It's basically the same character. Yeah, I'm not surprised either, honestly. I'm not surprised by Just Cuzbra's crass nature. I'm disappointed, but I'm not surprised, Just Cuzbra, that you would make your code that. Oh, you're getting Slow King? I love Slow King so fucking much. You know what I like about Slow King? Was when he was in that movie. When Slow King was in the Pokemon movie and he was just talking for no reason. That was fucking godlike. Hang on one second. I'm back. Sorry, my dog was asking me a question. I could hear her sniffing under the fucking door like a Hoover vacuum, so I knew she wanted something. But she's fine. She didn't end up wanting much. She just wanted to know what I was doing in here, making goofy voices.
We have successfully identified and apprehended the man responsible for taking Inspector Gregson's life. That is all that was expected of this trial. All these other matters that have been discussed.
But speaking of boobies, can we just pause for a second and point out that this dude has some fucking massive titties? I'll be honest, this dude is completely jacked. For a random judge, like Lord Strongheart spends 16 hours a day in the office, and then another 4 in the fucking gym. Just like on the fucking Schwarzenegger diet, man. Look at his fucking arms. His arms look like fucking tree trunks. This dude is huge. There's no way anybody in England in the year 1890 was this fucking jacked. He's like 6'5", 300 pounds. It's absurd. This dude is just a mountain. She probably did. Yoda probably just did want some attention. Because I've been ignoring her all day. I'm mad at her, because I've been trying to get her to go outside. And she refuses, because she thinks it's still rainy out. It's been rainy for like the past 2 weeks. So when it finally stopped raining like a week ago, she just refuses to go out now, because she assumes it's always rainy. So she doesn't want to go outside anymore. I've been trying to get her to go back outside, but she's not cooperating. She's being a complete hound about it.
That is all that was expected of this trial. All these other matters that have been discussed will be eliminated from the minutes of these proceedings in the interests of preserving law and order. And to protect Her Majesty the Queen, of course.
Don't pull the Queen card, come on! Don't pull the fucking Queen card on us. That's messed up. This guy's so evil. Isn't it weird that there's gonna be a King of England now? I'm so used to there being a Queen of England. For my entire life, it's been the Queen of England. And for a long time before my life, before I even existed. And all of a sudden it's the king again.
Well, my lords, ladies and gentlemen, what say you?
He has a point. He's so right. He is quite unforgivable. But on the other hand, isn't it our duty to maintain law and order? Oh my god, they're so evil. Come on, Herlock, bust in here. I have not. That's actually an amazing idea. That's a phenomenal idea. I should definitely try treats. They're cheering for him? Come on, man. They're literally chanting his fucking name. Come on. Stupid fucking British people. Fucking apes. You white apes. Ooh, that's all I hear. Are you hearing this? This is the will of the British judiciary? Yeah, come on. Okay, Van Zeek's knocked some sense into them. He's like the representative of the good British judiciary members, so maybe he can teach him a lesson or two. No, he's just sipping. He's just drinking. Oh, he's taking a bow. This guy's so... I knew it! He's so evil.
For your rousing response, friends, I express my heartfelt gratitude.
He's about to point down at us 3 times.
Therefore, in accordance with the overwhelming wishes of the court, the records shall be erased.
You have to respect the man's ability to turn a situation to his favor. Lord Strongheart really is a master of manipulation. You've conclusively proven his guilt. Yet still, he manages to evade justice. I just don't know what we can do. Ryunosuke! It looks like the trial really is going to come to an end now. I'm almost out of options, I think. There's really only one path left to open to me. Damn, I don't know which one to pick. Here's what I want to do. You know what I want to do? I want to use, this. I want to use the little doll. Iris, before the trial, gave me this little lucky charm. And if I tug on it, then it gets big. No, it becomes a transmitter. I can, like, talk to Herlock Sholmes. I can open a radio channel to Herlock and let him talk to him. That's what I want to do. I don't think that's the right option, but that's what I want to do, so I'm doing it.
Strong heart.
Yes, as I know only too well, the only thing that carries any weight in court is evidence.
But Mr. Naruhodo, what evidence is there to use at this stage in the trial?
I have an idea. I don't know whether anything will come of it, but if there was ever a time for using this particular item we have among the evidence, it's now!
Yeah, okay, I think I'm right. I think I'm completely right.
Take that!
Let's go, baby. Come on, Herlock. Oh my, yes! Mr. Sholmes asked if you had that with you earlier.
We've exposed all of Lord Strongheart's wrongdoings now. His strong-doings, if you will. I've no doubt that Mr. Sholmes had already deduced exactly how the truth would unfurl. So I think it must be time for the great detective to take center stage, don't you?
Yes, absolutely. Let's take the hair by the ears then, and heave.
All right, here goes. Heave! Ow, 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 ow! My dear fellows, must I remind you every time? A gentle tug will suffice. Mr. Sholmes, you're looking in quite the wrong direction, Mr. Naruhodo. Because I'm over here.
Ah, Mr. Naruhodo, he's... What? A hologram? That's the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. Why is there a fucking Mr. Sholmes, the Last Jedi hologram in the courtroom now? It's Mr. Sholmes! Here he comes, baby! Let's give it up for the Herlock hologram.
I wasn't expecting you back, Sholmes. Delighted to be here again, Lord Strongheart. What is the meaning of this? Bailiff, seize him. Put that man in irons. This is a closed court. You've been warned once already, man. What the? We can't get a hold of him, me lord.
We just go right through him. He's actually just fucking dancing on them. He has so much swag. He's literally just fucking dancing on these hoes. He won't stop dancing. I think this is a special animation that they've never used before, exclusively for this one scene of him stunting on the hose. I can't believe how cool he is. Look at him go. The British just can't catch this man. Oh, you started Callisto? Let me know how it is. Let me know how Callisto Protocol is. I really hope it's good. I want to play it super bad. It looks quite fucking cool.
We just go right through him. I'm afraid your efforts are wasted. You see, the great detective you see before you is composed entirely of light and shadow. An image, if you will.
Mr. Naruhodo, I must congratulate you on your fine deductions. Mr. Sholmes, what on earth is... Are you familiar, I wonder, with the invention known as the telephone?
Well, yes, I hear that some public telephones have been installed recently in Tokyo. The sound of the speaker's voice is converted to an electrical signal and transmitted instantly to another place.
Right, sounds are transmitted. So, could not images keep them company, I mused. Iris and I did some modest experimentation to develop such a device specifically for this very day.
Modest experimentation, Mr. Sholmes? What a modest description! He just casually invented the hologram. You know, as one does. Let's go, Sholmes. Yeah, this is fucking awesome. He's just popping off right now. I respect Sholmes' showmanship more than anything. The great thing about Sholmes is that he clearly knew what was going on here from like day one, but he just respects the pageantry so much, you know? He could have solved this case on day one, but he wanted his big moment where he gets to take center stage right at the end. I did hear that about Callisto, that it's extremely difficult. Apparently it also just like, you can't play it like Dead Space. That's what I also heard. It's the same kind of idea, but you play it very differently if you want to do well.
And somewhat incidentally, I thought we might just as well transmit an entire scene.
Somewhat incidentally, Mr. Sholmes? Now you're just being immodest.
You mean to say you're not actually here, Sholmes? Ah, I knew my trusty partner would have no trouble grasping the concept.
Except he's grasping the stand to steady himself after your shock arrival. Poor father. Yeah, she said the line. Woo, let's go, Susato. She said the line one last time. I would have hoped he might have been forewarned, being the great detective's great partner.
Leave my courtroom at once. Get out. Get the fuck off my porch, or I swear to you.
Dear me. You, on the other hand, Lord Strongheart, appear to have a very poor grasp of the situation. Allow me to reiterate, I am not here, which would, I hope, lead naturally to one asking, where exactly are you?
I think he's still on the boat. I think he's still with, remember he went to the boat to go apprehend Jigoku? He went to the boat to go apprehend Jigoku. He's probably still, oh, that's why he's so important. Now we can talk to Jigoku, presumably.
The very question I was awaiting. I am at present enjoying the air in a rather splendid garden.
A garden?
Not just any garden, you understand. A garden at Buckingham Palace.
What? Why is he at Buckingham Palace?
What? You can't be. Buckingham Palace?
I really hope the fucking Queen of England hops on the hologram. That would be so amazing. What's Buckingham Palace, Miss Susato? I've never heard of it.
Do you ever read the news, Mr. Naruhodo?
Mr. Sholmes? Is Iris with you there?
Ah, well now. Iris is currently enjoying some tea. With Her Majesty. Her Majesty? Not just any Her Majesty, you understand. Her Majesty the Queen of the British Empire.
What? What?
What on earth is this all about? Buckingham Palace is Her Majesty the Queen's residence in London, Mr. Naruhodo.
Order. Order in the court. I demand immediate silence. Her Majesty the Queen? You can't be. I mean, no. This is some sort of unforgivably distasteful trickery by a third-rate detective, that's all.
Unforgivably distasteful trickery. What an apt description. A closed court session attended entirely by elite members of the judiciary is a rare event. I presumed that Her Majesty would be more than a little curious about the proceedings. So, I decided to show her everything from start to finish.
Oh, get fucking owned, Strongheart. That's harsh. The entire time, Strongheart kept using the Queen as like his scapegoat. He's like, well, the Queen would want us to, you know, wrap everything up and not send me to jail. Sorry, guys, that's what the Queen wants, not me. But now, the Queen herself gets to opine. I also like how Sholmes appears to have made himself slightly taller as a hologram. That's such a nice, egotistic touch to him. I'm pretty sure he's usually not that much taller than Ryunosuke. He's like a whole head above him now.
Huh? You showed her? Indeed. By the dint of Herlock Sholmes's remote cinematograph.
You meddling!
This is some kind of nightmare. Just as I appear to be standing before you, regaling you with talk of my latest invention. No doubt you've inferred that the reverse is also true. You don't mean. Her Majesty has seen and heard every moment of the proceedings. I assumed there would be no objection. After all, every trial in this country is conducted under the auspices of Her Majesty, as you know.
You!
I confess, I am quite impatient to hear Her Majesty's opinion about the unforgivably distasteful trickery in which you've been engaged over the past 10 years.
No, I was merely...
That's not the Queen of England, that's Iris. Oh, so sorry to keep you waiting. Vicky and I had so much to talk about. Please don't call Queen Victoria Vicky. Iris, there you are. In fact, I have a little message here from Her Majesty.
A message?
Well then, if everyone is sitting comfortably, ahem. Forthwith and with immediate effect, all authority previously afforded to male Strongheart is hereby revoked forevermore. Furthermore, he will be prosecuted for crimes against his country in a public trial by a jury in the coming days. So, it seems that Her Majesty doesn't believe we need to fight fire with fire. Justice in this country needn't be administered from the shadows at all. Male Strongheart, the darkness you fostered to conceal your despicable actions these last 10 years is a thing of the past now. After today, your brand of law and order has no future, because no longer are you the Lord Chief Justice. In the eyes of the law and of Her Majesty the Queen, you are nothing but a criminal. Ooh, got him. Let's go, Sholmes. Sholmes absolutely stepped up at the very end.
Adjourned! 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 Court is adjourned!
Oh, he broke his unicorn! That's just tragic, man. Oh my god! He's dead! He's dead! Oh no! Oh dear me. That was so tragic. He took a fucking spill. Ads, no! That's unfortunate timing. What's up, Ligdog Hurdle? He's turbo dead now. He just got his corpse roasted too. Look out! You gotta dodge it! Okay, he dodged it. Good. That was a close one. Oh, no, he didn't. That's not the sound he makes, Remix. That is not the sound he makes. Damn, that was dramatic. He fell off the cliff and died. And then he was crushed by a giant metal object. And then he fucking exploded. He's had a rough day. He's had a hard day. Lord Strongheart had a bad day today.
Lord Clint Van Zeeks left a will in which he confessed to everything.
And then he made noises too, which is the worst part.
When those words came out of Asogi's mouth, it deranged me completely. I knew I must do anything and everything in my power to contain the situation. But I couldn't find the damned document. I searched his cell, but it wasn't there.
Which precipitated the jailbreak plot, I presume. What do you mean?
The need to obtain that will was all-consuming. I was sure that if I facilitated Asogi's escape, he would emerge with the will somewhere on his person. But, despite searching his limp body in the cemetery that night, it still eluded me. It never even crossed my mind that it was concealed in his sword's hilt.
Wow, what a tragic tale, Lord Strongheart. I sure hope he doesn't go to jail after all the good he's done by murdering random people. What a hero. What pains me now is that my brother left this world without a word to me.
I'm sorry, Lord Van Zeeks. In point of fact, I think perhaps that isn't the case.
Sorry? How can that be?
There is more to his last will and testament.
What?
As I confront the prospect of my demise, I feel bitter regret for my younger brother. Barok, you have always looked up to me, and now you follow in my footsteps to become a prosecutor. It is my fervent wish that my unspeakable deeds should not hinder your advancement. I ask not for understanding, for none could understand my depravity. I ask only for forgiveness. Poor, vicious serial killer who murdered people with a giant dog. That's so sad. How's Scarlet and Violet going? It's going pretty good. I've almost beaten the whole game, I think. I still have to like beat the Elite Four and stuff, but what I've mostly been doing is like filling out my pocket decks. I caught a ton of new Pokemon and stuff like that. I'll probably play it today if the game ends before the end of the stream, which is looking pretty likely, honestly. I don't see this going for another 3.5 hours, so we'll probably end up doing some Pokemon today as well. We'll see though. I'm liking it a lot so far. Scarlet and Violet is pretty swag. I haven't. I wish I'd found more glitches. But so far, all I've really found is those times when I can peek under the universe, which are fun. There's a surprising amount of times in that game where you can just look underneath the map. It's awesome. It is. I honestly like... I like Pokemon Scarlet and Violet a lot, but it did not deserve to win any awards. Because, it's just... It is not polished at all. If that game had like another year or two of development, then maybe. But... yeah, as it stands, it's a really fun game, but it is not exactly a game of the year. Like, it looks like shit, and it only plays okay. It's like pretty standard Pokemon fare. Whereas, you know, like Elden Ring was just fucking godlike. It definitely deserved to take it over Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Scarlet? No, there's no such thing as Scarlet swag. Wrong. Pokemon Violet is the godlike one. Pokemon Violet is goated. Pokemon Scarlet is for literal cavemen. If you play Pokemon Scarlet, then you actually wear a fucking caveman toga in real life like Fred Flintstone. Asogi is a... oh, this is her talking. Asogi is a fine detective and a hunter worthy of respect. He has agreed to honor my final 2 wishes. The first is that this document survives. The second, I cannot commit to paper. I have confessed my sins to my wife. May she find resolution in my death. With my eternal gratitude to my Japanese friend, I rest my quill. Clint Van Zeeks. Van Zeeks is gonna cry like a baby. I hope there's an animation of him just like blubbering and crying and sobbing. It is funny how Elden Ring won. I really thought that Elden Ring was gonna lose Game of the Year. I'm glad it won, but I thought they were gonna give Elden Ring like 1 award and then give God of War everything else. I think Elden Ring definitely deserved to win, but I'm shocked that it did. The thing that was the turning point for me was when it won Best Game Direction. That was when I was like, hang on a minute. If you win Best Game Direction, how do you not win Game of the Year as well? Yeah, sure, maybe I'm playing the white woman's game, aka Pokemon Violet. But that's because white women live in the future, okay? You live in the fucking past. You live in the land of the dinosaurs. In the land of the dinosaurs, the one-eyed white woman is king, as I've always said. Scarlet and Violet is definitely the winner. The, what do you call it? I just want to go to Area 0. I'm assuming in Area 0, this is my prediction for Area 0. That's where all the stupid future stuff is going to be. Because so far, there's been like no future stuff in all of Pokemon Violet, even though that's the whole gimmick of the game. So I'm guessing Area 0 is just where all the actual future stuff is. Maybe they'll even let me get more Iron Treads. That'd be pretty cool. Meet your creator. I don't know what game that is, I'll be honest. I didn't even remember that one. Meet your... oh, wait, no, that one does look cool. That's where you, like, build... the guy builds the fortress and you have to invade it, right? That does look fucking sick. I do remember that now. Clint! Cry. Cry, bitch. He's not crying. Can we at least get Ms. Susato saying poor Mr. Van Zeeks then?
Male Strongheart, you colluded with Seishiro Jigoku in a criminal plot so immense it spanned the oceans. And you cold-heartedly murdered all those who knew the truth about what happened 10 years ago. But why did you set about that now, a whole decade later?
Good question. That's a very good question. Yeah, it does look so fucking sick. I love that concept. I was talking about it during the Game Awards, but it reminds me a lot of, if you ever played MGS5's multiplayer, it was kind of the same deal. You would have to, like, build up a base, and you would, like, choose the defenses, and you would hire specific guards to, like, guard specific points. And then you would have, like, valuable resources and, like, nuclear weapons and stuff. And other players could then invade your base and, like, sneak through Metal Gear style and steal all your shit. It was really cool. You could, like, steal resources or, like, kidnap people's really strong guards. It was fucking dope. It reminds me a lot of that. It's like the closest I've ever seen a game to the MGS5 multiplayer, which was very unique and cool. Yeah, L. Strongheart, this is a big L for Lord Strongheart. Not only did he get caught being a murderous little son of a bitch, but he also exploded, which is never fun. Nobody wants to fall off the cliff and explode.
To ascend to the very peak.
Oh, shit! He wanted to ascend. Oh my god, he's so evil.
These last 10 years made me realize being the Lord Chief Justice wasn't enough. Short of becoming Her Majesty's Attorney General, I could have no real power to effect the changes needed in this country.
That's right, that's what he kept saying. Remember, he wanted all of this to coincide with that big festival, the Forensic Investigation Festival or whatever. He wanted to become the AG. This is a one ambitious son of a bitch, I won't lie.
And for that promotion, I needed to ensure no remnants of the past remained.
How could you?
I like everything to run smoothly in the exact manner that I prescribe, like a well-oiled machine. And I was just a step away.
And for your ambition to succeed, did you even bother to count the number of brilliant people you had killed? Ah, Mr. Reaper, are you not forgetting something? Such as... You very much adopted your usual prosecutor-like demeanor in the proceedings now. You forgot that I'm coming to beat your bitch ass. I wish, bro. I wish Hologram Sholmes would just hop the bench and start wailing on his ass. Just fucking mount him and start ground and pounding him. Well, not in a gay way, though, in like a fighting way. That sounded extremely gay now that I said it out loud. But the reality of the situation is that you are the defendant in this trial. However, the presiding judge would appear to have fallen from the bench, as it were. What? Why is the judge here, bro? Where the fuck did he come from? This game rocks. This is literally the fucking best game ever made. Where did the fuck he was not here? He literally wasn't here for the entire 12-hour trial, and now he's just back. Sholmes isn't dead, Brockor. He invented a hologram in the year 1890 and is projecting himself from Buckingham Palace with the Queen. What don't you get? Don't you understand anything? He merely invented an ancient British hologram. May I suggest we make the adjudication of our old friend? My lord!
As a member of the judiciary, I have been following the proceedings from the gallery, and I must say, I shan't ever forget the extraordinary battle between good and evil that I witnessed here today.
He did. He spawned in like a fucking Minecraft creeper spawner. There was a fucking judge egg sitting on the chair that whole time.
The darkness that has blighted justice in our lands these past 10 years has at last been dispelled, thanks in no small part to the efforts of a bright young star from the east. Defense Counsel Naruhodo.
Yes, my lord.
On behalf of everyone here present in the Old Bailey, I give you my heartfelt thanks.
You're too kind, my lord. The first time I faced you in court, just under a year ago now, I had the faintest of intimations that if British justice, so warped and twisted over its long history, was finally to know change,
This might just be the man to do it. What? But at the time, I wouldn't allow myself to acknowledge the possibility. I couldn't overcome my hatred of the Japanese after the circumstances of my brother's death. Mr. Naruhodo, allow me to apologize for countless discourtesies on my part. You are a lawyer of boundless talent, and you cured my racism too.
Oh, Lord Van Zeeks.
When I first arrived in Great Britain, I was literally a nobody, certainly not a lawyer. The truth is, my fortunes have entirely been made by the miraculous people I've met. My best friend, Kazuma Asogi, who led me here to Britain in the first place. My loyal and ever-patient judicial assistant, Miss Suzato, who helped me study to become a lawyer. The game is ending. I got good news. This is like, how the fuck is this not over in 5 minutes? I'm shocked. But we had so little left. It's only been like an hour and a half. The brilliant Lord Van Zeeks, who never failed to challenge his Nipponese rival. And not to mention, the exceptional master of logic and reasoning, who showed me the true art of deduction, Mr. Sholmes. Saving the best for last, Mr. Naruhodo. What a relief. I'm well aware that without all these people's help and support, I wouldn't be where I am today. The truth is a guiding light that always leads to happiness.
That's the gayest sentence I've ever fucking heard in my life.
I've lived by that principle for a long time now, but actually, it's not true. The truth can also cause great pain, sometimes even leave people on the brink of despair. And for that reason, there are those who feel the need to hide the truth, who do it instinctively even. But as soon as we allow our eyes to settle on something other than the truth, the darkness takes hold. And from there it grows, until eventually, it makes us blind to the guiding light of the truth altogether. So that's why it's my belief that we must all resolve never to avert our eyes from what is just and true. So that we can continue to walk the straight and narrow path ahead.
Bro actually fucking showed up to court as a hologram. I'm 90% sure that's not legal. But we take it because it made us be Lord Strongheart.
Well, I must excuse myself now. But before I go, Mr. Naruhodo, let me compliment you on your grand opus.
What? My grand opus?
Without your beautifully composed case against Lord Strongheart, Her Majesty would have been unable to act.
So true, King. Sholmes is such a humble guy, man. He's serving up a slice of humble pie by giving me credit. It was all him. He did. Mr. Naruhodo literally just watches YouTube shorts all day long. He watches YouTube shorts of Jordan Peterson with Sigma Male music playing in the background.
Thanks to you and your fellows, the haunting undertones corrupting Britain's judicial system have been silenced.
That's kinda awkward.
Thank you very much. So, until our paths cross again somewhere.
No! He's gone! That better not be the last we see of Sholmes in the game. I'll be so sad. I can't believe he fucking dissolved in the mist.
Well then, it would appear that this long trial has finally come to an end. My apologies for any anxiety caused, my lord. I'm quite sure we shall meet again here in the courtroom before long, Prosecutor Barak Van Zeeks. In conclusion of these proceedings, I hereby declare the defendant, Barak Van Zeeks,
not guilty! Woo! The last trial, it's over. I can't believe we finally beat Ace Attorney. Asian? I'm sad that Asian didn't come back, though. That's my one regret from this game's story, is that Asian wasn't a more central character. Oh yeah, let's go. No more pumpkin spice. I don't even use creamer in my coffee. All I did was I shopped around until I found a coffee that I like black. And so I just drink it black. Drink it black. Yeah, I just have a regular style. That way I don't need to worry about creamer. I don't have to worry about nothing.
That is all. Court is adjourned.
Wow. I can't believe it's all over.
4th November, 4:21 p.m. The Old Bailey, defendant's antechamber.
My future girlfriend will like it back. Well, we already discussed this, Brockwar. That's just called reparations, okay? There's nothing wrong with that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. If you think that your girlfriend shouldn't allowed to be Eiffel Towered by two strong African POCs, then that just means that you're fucking a bigot, okay? That means that you're not sex positive at all. My future girlfriend will have OnlyFans, 8 children, and 3 black boyfriends, and I'll like it that way. That's just the way I like them. Fucking yum emoji.
4th November, 4:21 p.m. The Old Bailey defendant's antechamber. It really is all over. But did I sacrifice too much?
Mr. Naruhodo! I really must congratulate you. It was a truly splendid performance. Honestly, I couldn't be happier for you.
Oh, thank you very much. Aw, Miss Susato's so nice. But I really couldn't have done it without you at my side through it all, Miss Susato.
Oh! Your kind words mean so much to me.
It really was a very splendid show, that, Naruhodo.
That's what Mikotoba says when he watches his wife get fucking pounded by Mr. Naruhodo from the back. Mr. Naruhodo from the back. One thumb. Never mind, this is getting disgusting. This is just getting way too disgusting. I'm gonna have to go ahead and block Brockwar now for making this conversation so crass. So crass and disgusting.
It was really a very splendid show, that, Naruhodo. I'd have thought you'd be smiling from ear to ear, but you look rather glum.
Well, of course I'm delighted about the verdict, but in exposing the truth, I'm afraid I've caused my client a great deal of pain. I'm really not sure that's what a lawyer ought to be doing.
Oh well, in that case, I'm quite sure that when you see Lord Van Zeeks' smiling face, everything will seem much better. Yeah, he looks so happy. He looks fucking elated.
Miss Susato, everything seems worse. He has a face like thunder.
Oh dear. I really shouldn't have presumed.
Mr. Naruhodo!
Yes?
Almost a year it's been now since I first encountered you here in this very courthouse. For you to have risen to the level of excellence you demonstrated today, well, it's quite remarkable.
But I exposed the most unpalatable truth you could ever have imagined in court today. I feel as though I've robbed you of something you held so dear.
What was it he said? I can almost hear him now. I can almost hear his wise words now echoing in the wind. To fight those who dwell in the darkness requires at least some of us to occupy the darkness ourselves. But that was just the feeble excuse of a coward. Only those with a steadfast eye for the truth have what it takes to fight the dark forces of crime. You made fine work of establishing that fact in court today.
Oh. Well, thank you.
What magnanimous words! I'm quite sure that Kazuma-sama would have a smile on his face at this very moment if he were here. It's just gonna cut to him fucking frowning again.
Kazuma?
Yeah, there you go. There you go, right there.
Miss Susato, there's another face like thunder here.
What the fuck is a face like thunder? Is that a British thing? Because that sounds stupid as shit. Oh my, he really was here. Lord Van Zeeks, allow me to congratulate you on your acquittal.
Congratulate me, or curse me. You failed to bring down the Reaper.
I owe you an apology.
No, it is I who should apologize for prosecuting and murdering your dad. Your father, Genshin. If I had been stronger, then perhaps I made an unforgivable error of judgment. I can offer no excuse.
And I can offer no forgiveness.
That said, I suppose you fought for justice and the truth. For that at least, I can't withhold respect. Your words mean more to me than you could know. I will hold them dear.
Kazuma-sama. Bro, you did the same fucking shit he did.
Apologize now!
He's not apologizing for doing the exact same shit. Mewtwo King is streaming Genshin Impact. Let's go, Mewtwo God. He's streaming the real game of the year 2022. I hope he's still like all fucking hunched over in his chair like a zombie. I hope he's still completely hunched over in his chair like a zombie.
I must say, he only cares about two things: money and winning. There's one thing that's still bothering me.
What's that?
The will that Lord Clint Van Zieks wrote before his duel with my father. Asogi is a fine detective and a hunter worthy of respect. He has agreed to honor my final two wishes. The first is that this document survives. The second, I cannot commit the paper.
Yeah, he did say that.
I have confessed my sins to my wife. May she find resolution in my death. With my eternal gratitude to my Japanese friend, I rest my quill. Clint Van Zieks, notable porcupine. What can the second of his final wishes have been? That your father agreed to honor, you mean? I think perhaps... Oh, it's him. I might be able to shed some light on that.
Father?
It was 10 years ago, as you know. The day before the execution was scheduled. I went to the prison to say my farewells to Genshin.
Genshin Impact. Let's fucking go, Genshin Impact. The world's greatest game. Guys, can you please send me 8 billion Primo Gems so I can pull all the characters? Just real quick.
Why aren't you pulling up more of a fight, Genshin? If you'd only agree to it, Seishiro and I would gladly petition the government.
We've been through this already. You don't need to worry about me. Anyway, Eugen, I have a favor to ask of you. Something of great importance.
You're one of my greatest friends, Genshin. Whatever it is, consider it done.
I'm gonna tell you an address. I need you to go there at once, in secret and telling no one.
You should find a lady of the gentry in hiding there. A lady of the gentry?
Oh no, Mrs. Van Ziek?
She's not in a good way, and she's with child. The birth is imminent.
As a medical man, I'd like you to attend to her. Please, you're her only hope. Oh no! No! Iris! Is Iris secretly Van Zieks' sister? That shit would be so retarded. That shit would be so fucking stupid. Please, don't tell me Iris is secretly Van Zieks' sister. Iris Van Zieks, as she's known. I like the Bowser video because it has Swag Baby Roo in it. I like literally any video that has Swag Baby Roo in it.
Swag Baby Roo!
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to use the R word. It was an accident. I meant to say Swag Baby R star star.
By any chance, is the child yours, Genshin?
No, not his.
Don't be daft.
It's a favor that was asked of me by a man I knew, as his dying wish.
My goodness!
I swore to the man that I would help, that I would do whatever I could for his wife and his unborn child. But if something should happen to me, I need to ask you that same favor. You're the only person I know that I can truly rely on.
What did you say? If something should happen to you? Tomorrow night, you're gonna be...
You never know though, do you? What life will bring. Bro, I can't fucking believe that Iris is secretly the sister of Mr. Lord Van Zieks. That's the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my whole life. I thought it was dumb enough that she was supposed to be... Well, I guess it's not as dumb. Before they were implying that Iris was this dude's daughter, the Japanese guy, and that somehow nobody noticed she was half Japanese. So at least this time she's completely British, so she's indistinguishable from the other British apes. but it's still quite dumb. It's still quite dumb that she's secretly Iris Van Zeeks the whole time.
All right then, tell me the address. I'll head there at once with Seishiro and...
No, not with him.
Pardon?
This is a favor I'm asking of you, and only you, Eugen.
Right, I see. Very well then.
I hope it shows a little tiny baby and it's so adorable.
That night I caught a train from Paddington to Dartmoor in Devon. I found the old house. In the middle of nowhere it was. An old hunting hound lay asleep in the grounds.
Yep, it's the Hound of the Baskervilles. That's definitely Iris's mom, bro.
The poor woman was on the floor at the back of a darkened room. She was in mortal danger. I broke her waters to precipitate the labor before she weakened further, but it was a tortuous birth. I did everything humanly possible for her and her child.
Ooh, bah. Ooh, bah. Yeah, he definitely pulled her out with the fucking ice cream scoops from Star Wars 3.
And in the end, I was lucky enough to welcome a generic baby sound into the world.
This is the same baby sound from Fallout 3, I'm not gonna lie.
But tragically, my efforts to save the mother's life were in vain.
Yeah, it was definitely Markiplier's kissy face peeking out from between her pussy lips, I'm not gonna lie. A full-grown Markiplier just burst out of this woman, killing her instantly, splitting her body in half.
I held the healthy newborn Markiplier in my arms and wept for longer than I care to remember. Eventually, in something of a daze, I looked around the room. There was precious little in it.
But an old travel trunk! Oh my god! That makes so much sense. It's Iris's trunk. It had the fucking Baskerville logo on it the whole time. Oh my god. We could have solved the overarching mystery in like 5 minutes if he had looked at the other side of the trunk! That's fucking hilarious. What is fun though is that this is supposed to be like a Devil's Daughter reference. Yeah, Iris is literally the daughter of the professor. So it's supposed to be like the Sherlock Holmes, the Devil's Daughter thing. That's pretty cool. That's pretty epic. She's like Moriarty's daughter. It is so weird that they had like a Professor Moriarty stand in this game, and he died 10 years before the game started. That's honestly insane. It's cool though. It's really cool how this game was like two separate timelines. It was like the 10 years ago stuff and then the modern stuff.
A travel trunk caught my eye. It had clearly been well looked after over the years, made of top quality leather with fine stitching. But it was when I saw the emblem on the side of it that everything dropped into place.
Mama Hunya.
B for Baskerville!
Wow, good job, Mikitobo. You fucking cracked the case, dumbass. Baskerville?
You mean... Oh, the woman was the wife of Lord Clint Van Zeeks? That's right. The newborn was his daughter. But that makes no sense!
You're right, Van Zeeks, it does make no sense.
Why on earth wouldn't Clint have entrusted the child to my care in that case? I was completely unaware that he even had a daughter.
I suppose he didn't really have any choice.
What?
Well, your brother said he'd confessed everything to his wife. So she must have been beside herself with worry for her child. If the true identity of the professor were ever to be made public, the girl would be forever branded as the daughter of the infamous mass murderer.
Ah!
So the only solution was to distance the young girl from the Van Zeeks family as much as possible. Oh my god. And then she became Iris. Iris Wilson. What did you miss? It turns out Iris is Lord Van Zeeks' sister. There was a bit of a twist, or I guess not his sister, but his, what's it called? What's it called when there's some little bitch in your family that's like almost, his niece? I think she's his niece. I think Iris is Lord Van Zeeks' niece. She's the daughter of his brother. That was the big revelation.
I don't believe this! I imagine that in his final hour, Lord Clint Van Zeeks made the obvious choice. He would have thought to himself, this Japanese man here is someone I can trust.
Yeah, Iris is the little pink-haired girl.
I honored my promise to Genshin, of course. However, only a month later, I was summoned back to Japan. And without discovering the parentage of the child, I couldn't obtain permission to take her with me.
Oh, how awful.
I was completely at a loss. In the end, I had to ask my great friend. I asked him if he would be a father to her.
That being Mr. Sholmes, I presume.
Yes, he took one look into my eyes and agreed to it on the spot.
Mr. Sholmes, he has the heart of gold.
Really, all it can be said that I did for the child was to give her a name.
Oh?
When I'd come to Britain, I was trying to escape from the grief of losing my darling wife. So it was her name that I gave the little girl.
Your wife's name, Professor Mikotoba? In other words, the name of my mother? Ayame Mikotoba. That's not Iris's name, dumbass.
Oh! That's right, Ayame. Or in English, Iris. Bum bum bum.
Iris? I had no idea.
Ding dong! Ouch!
Mr. Naruhodo, what's wrong? This little thing just pinched me on the behind through my trouser pocket.
Hard. Ah, my dear fellows, can you hear me?
Mr. Sholmes, is that you?
Ouch!
Yes, we can hear you.
You see what excessive tugging can do? Let that be a lesson to you.
It's kinda gay of Sholmes to be pinching me on my cheeks, bro. I feel like you should never pinch another man on his cheeks, unless you're extremely gay as hell. In which case, pinch away. But if you're a heterosexual man, you probably shouldn't pinch another man's ass. The most gayest thing you can do with another man's ass and still be considered heterosexual is fuck it. No, it's actually to hit it with a towel. To whip it with a towel. That's for some reason considered acceptable, but any ass play beyond hitting it with a towel, it starts to get a little fruity. It gets a little bit fruity at that point. If Wakabi pinched me on my heart-sized ass, I would fucking beat his ass, dude. I would absolutely hit Wakabi with the pile driver of a lifetime. His ass would be, his head would become a completely flat head. Like, if you could picture in your mind's eye a hammerhead shark, it would basically look like that, but a human skull. Mr. Sholmes, we weren't able to thank you properly before, but you were simply marvelous. Your checkmate move was a stroke of genius.
Indeed it was, wasn't it? I surpassed myself, I feel. It had become apparent to me that to stop the Lord Chief Justice,
the Lord Chief Injustice, sick burn, Sholmes,
would require such measures.
Bruno, Susie. Oh, Iris. Iris.
Van Zeeks.
Oh my god. Yeah, exactly. You just wind up the towel and flick. That one's considered okay. You can do that and get away with it. But if you do anything else to a man's ass, so like when I gently massage a man's ass, suddenly, oh, that's so gay. Like, how is that fair? I just don't understand how that's fair at all. Oh, I'm so pleased. What a wonderful outcome. Her Majesty, Queen Vicky, said she thought my special blend was delicious. Oh, I'm sure she did. After all, no one brews more delicious tea than you, Iris. Let's have a party to celebrate. And Mr. Reaper, you simply must come too.
What? I'm afraid I couldn't.
The Reaper of the Bailey, flustered by a 10-year-old girl, again. No, really? Oh, pooh.
But I give you my word that I shall present myself at your residence in the near future to express my gratitude.
Oh, how lovely. You've promised now, I won't let you forget. Bye for now, then. All right, Iris. Thank you for all your help earlier. Oh, that was nothing. Just come back home soon.
Ouch! Oog! One final pinch goodbye, was it?
I do like how that kind of parallels the main games, though. In the main games, like the original Ace Attorney trilogy that takes place 100 years from now, there was, the main prosecutor was Edgeworth in that one, right? And it turned out that he also had a secret sort of sister that was the daughter of some evil dude. So it actually is a kind of fun parallel of the original Ace Attorney games. What was her name? Prosecutor, the girl with the whip. There was a girl with like leather gloves and a whip, and she would whip people in the head. That was her gimmick. I can't remember her name though. But she was like basically the same family situation as Iris and Van Zieks. Well, I think we ought to be leaving. Lord Van Zieks, would you care to accompany me?
Certainly. Mr. Naruhodo, allow me once again to express my deep gratitude to you. I believe you saved my life.
Aw, Lord Van Zieks was finally cured of his horrible racism at the very end. Wait, Lord Van Zieks.
Yes?
What are you intending to do now?
Well, clearly I shall have to resign from the prosecutor's office.
Oh no!
I intend to publicize the full truth about the Professor case. Once that's done, the Van Zieks family will be ostracized completely from London society.
Surely not.
So, as soon as I am free from my employment, I shall leave the capital.
Oh, I see. Don't be a fool! Fucking gay-ass little Kazuma. Kazuma's like, looks like fucking baby Van Zieks, bro. He actually looks like baby Van Zieks Jr. He looks like he's standing on a stool to be almost the same size.
Are those the actions of a man once feared as the mighty Reaper of the Bailey? I beg your pardon.
Oh, interesting, huh? Yeah, group encounters, in Dead Space were pretty easy to handle because you would just like blast them with those wide horizontal beams. That was like the whole gimmick of that one, so it is going to be interesting to see how Callisto deals with that. Because Callisto kind of changed all the combat, but if it's anything like Dead Space's combat, there was like huge groups in Dead Space. They would constantly drop groups on you. Dang, Remix refunded that shit. That's so evil. That's so fucking evil. I like Dead Space okay, so I hope Callisto's good. For the past 10 years, you've endured that pseudonym and been cast as one of the dark forces yourself. Now that you've finally been freed from that disrepute, your battle is just beginning. Surely.
Well, I certainly never expected to hear those words from your lips.
I waited a very long time to come to London. Now I'm properly here, I intend to learn all that I can. Anyway, goodbye for now, Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Kazuma Asogi. It seems as though he's really matured suddenly. He's not the only one who's matured, Mr. Naruhodo. Well, I think we should make our way back to Baker Street. We must help Iris with tonight's dinner. We must! We must! We clunk our cups of hot chocolate together. That's kind of weird of you, Remix, to drink hot chocolate with another man. What the hell are you talking about? It was then that I came to an important decision about my future. I was going to start an OnlyFans and drop out of being a lawyer. Oh, it's the roast beast, dude. 4th November, 6:25 p.m. Sholmes' suite. I'm home! It's Gina! Arg! About time you got here. We've been waiting ages, Odo. What are you doing with that colorful piece of history? It's a party, innit? It's gotta go off with a bang. I mean, fireworks, ideally. But when you ain't got fire, smoke's the next best thing, ain't it? There's a girl on Fresno Street who could help you with that, I think. Right! I'll remember that. You don't have to reload that thing every time I speak. You really must hear this. It's quite the most extraordinary thing. I assure you, it will defy our expectations. Take down every detail now, Mikitoba. Ah, the world-famous great detective, regaling his partner with his tales of adventure. A sight to behold.
Would you care to hazard a guess? Where do you suppose the fiendish runaway had concealed himself? Would you believe? Inside the trunk I found abandoned in his cabin.
He was there.
I would believe it, yes. I say, Mikitoba, I detect not a hint of surprise. I wonder why that is. Maybe because I was there at the scene as well? What? You were? Then why the deuce didn't you say so before?
I love when he says, what the deuce. Not quite the sight I was expecting to behold, but still, it's hard not to feel privileged to see it.
Hello, Mr. Sholmes, Professor Mikitoma. I'm finally back from the Bailey. And not a moment too soon. A feast prepared by Iris and Miss Susato awaits. I must say, I haven't seen Susato looking so happy in a long time.
Ah, Runo, there you are. Dinner is on the table, everyone. Please do come and take a seat.
Time to fill me boots.
Goodness, is that really true, Gina?
Yup, I'm losing me copper's clobber and going back to what I know best. It's a diver's life for me.
Oh, she's rage quitting the police force?
You're really leaving the police force? But why, Ginny? Well, the boss ain't around no more, so... Oh.
Your little pussy belongs to me.
Shut up, Remix. Remix, shut your dog ass up, bro.
You're gonna learn to do what I fucking tell you to.
Remix, you don't even have Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, that's the worst part. You refunded the Callisto protocol and you didn't even use the proceeds to buy Huey Coco as your starter? Come on, man. This guy actually doesn't even fucking have a... shut up! Shut up! You planned this! You planned this all! You planned this ahead of time, you sons of bitches! I should have fucking known that you planned this. You planned it all. You saved up your points and you said you were all gonna spam your points.
Your little pussy belongs to me.
I knew you fucking planned it.
Your little pussy belongs to me. Do what I fucking tell you.
And Remix fucking ruined it all by playing the wrong one.
The animals are leaving. The aliens are
Stupid Remix. That was awesome.
Your little pussy belongs to me.
Stop! Stop this madness! You people are so evil. Just cause, bro, that's entirely too many blurps at this point. That's way too many blurps. That's way too many aliens.
Do you need anyone else?
Get that ass banned.
I am glad that the Evader Vi one is just the channel point one. Because that would have been tragic to lose that one. The only ones we lost of value from the, what's known as the Blurpocalypse that Remix caused, where he destroyed all of Blurp and literally took a sledgehammer to it like it was a 1984 projector, was the Gawar Gura Blurps. Those are all gone now. That was a fantastic performance. I have to basically give a giant round of applause like, that evil Lord Strongheart, because that was a lot of blurps. It was very fucking loud, and it hurt my ears. That was a good... Did you guys actually plan that, or did you just jump in on it once you saw the blurps being spammed? Because that seemed coordinated. Just Cuzper and Brockwar started doing it at like the exact same time. They started spamming them at like the exact same fucking time.
No matter how hard I try, that Reaper ain't never gonna accept a diver turned dick, is he?
What? What is she talking about?
Well, people can change, you know. Ah yes, that reminds me. I rather thoughtfully offered to relieve the bailiff of this now defunct piece of evidence. Oh, we can finally find out what this thing does. We can finally find out what this watch does. Okay, it wasn't even coordinated. It was just some fucking sadistic time when you all jumped in on Blurp. That is the power that you hold. That's the democratic powers that, when you all pool your points together like that, you can still cause a fucking blurp storm. Even now that the blurp spamming has been stopped at the root. It's still possible to coordinate a great blurp storm every once in a while. Hey! It's the Inspector's pocket watch, and the crown has been reattached.
Yeah, this is the pocket watch that this bitch was winding up every day. He was winding this every day, so there's clearly something important to it.
The watch was his pride and joy, a symbol of his great achievements at Scotland Yard. For 10 years, without fail, it measured every second of the man's remarkable career.
But now, it's stopped.
Someone needs to keep the memory of Inspector Gregson's career alive by taking on the great responsibility of winding that watch every single day again.
Yes, someone with an equally fierce detective spirit. Yeah, Gina, you pussy. It's gotta be me. There ain't no one else. Wait, right. I mean, after all, the boss was... He was my boss. Yes, Ginny, he was. Don't rage quit the poor Callisto Protocol. Someone's gotta keep up the great legacy of the Callisto Protocol being bullshit. Someone has to do it. The game I got the closest to rage quitting recently was that fucking stupid Scorm game. Scorm actually pissed me off so bad just because it was fucking annoying as shit. I hated Scorm a lot. The visuals were so cool, and like everything else I just fucking despised. Cube Battlegrounds is now available on the Epic Games store. I thought PUBG was free anyway. Is PUBG a game you have to pay for? I thought it was like Fortnite and you just play it. I thought they basically just like sold battle passes to make money. I guess not. Oh yeah, I made you a promise, you know, didn't I, Iris? Is it just me, or from this view does Gina kind of look like Popeye, the sailor man? She kind of has a giant underbite. She basically looks like Popeye. I should have known and given her a Popeye voice this whole time that she was actually Popeye in drag. I made you a promise, didn't I, Iris? That I'd become a proper detective one day and track down your old man.
Oh!
Bad news. Bad news, Gina. That ship has already sailed. We know who her dad is. Turns out she's the devil's daughter for no reason. Hey, what's up, Code EXE4? Welcome to my dad channel. That's him. That's what he looks like. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree, as they say. The apple doesn't far for.
Oh!
Alright, then it's decided. I'll do it. And I swear, I'll find your dad and bring him in kicking and screaming.
I'm not entirely sure that would be appropriate.
He's dead as hell.
Yes, I think, Gina, it might be best to, well...
I think you'd like to forget that promise, Ginny. Hey!
Iris?
Well, obviously I've always wondered about who my real daddy is. Of course I have. I wanted to know where I've come from. I thought it might tell me something about myself. But I've caused such a lot of trouble trying to find out. For so many people. Hurley, Bruno, Professor Mickey. Shut the I fucking hate her stupid nickname shit. It pisses me the fuck off. Did you do Remix's tweet? No, what did he say to tweet? I didn't even see Remix do or redeem a tweet. I was fucking blindsided by the blurps, as it's known. That is true. She does exhibit a lot of fatherless behavior. I'm beginning to believe that she secretly just crawled out of a fucking gutter. I think she actually just formed from a fucking sludge. From a thick sludge filled with paramecium. And just formed into this horrible anime creature. This horrible anime girl.
Oh no, not at all, my dear. Really, you owe no apology to anyone.
Well, anyway, I've decided to give up on it. Because I finally realized. My daddy is the greatest in the world.
Oh my god.
Okay, Brockor, I'm gonna need you to take your fucking Iris RP back to the DMs where we were originally having it, okay? I don't need you airing out our Iris RP for everybody to see where I was roleplaying as Iris and you were RPing as Daddy. That's more of like a private conversation. You need to understand the distinction between public conversation and private. Whilst the free-to-play Battle Royale is... I'm not reading that message, Wakabi. I got bad news. I got bad news, Wakabi. I do not care that much about fucking PUBG Battle Royale. I'm not reading all that. I'm actually not reading fucking War and Peace PUBG edition. My daddy is the greatest in the world. I don't think it matters what his name is or where he's from. Don't you agree? Hurley! Aw, she likes Herlock being her dad better. That's so sweet. With every word, Iris. Yeah, we'll definitely continue it after stream, Brocker. Don't worry. I'm already fucking bricked up just thinking about it, but we can't do it on stream because that would just be too inappropriate. It goes against TOS. Unfortunately, until Twitch changes their draconian rules, you're not allowed to have e-sex over the mic, like during a stream. Is that even true? I feel like at this stage, Twitch has become so fucking depraved that you probably are allowed to do that in all realism. You probably could. We'll have to conduct a purely scientific experiment. A purely scientific experiment to find out. Thank you, Hurley. Thank you, Daddy! I think Mikatoba!
Yes, Sholmes? I think that I ought to express my gratitude to you. Oh! For 6 years, you and I solved many a mystery together. And during that time, I remember countless expressions of gratitude for our good services. But a moment ago, I heard the most pleasing expression of gratitude of them all. And I should never have experienced it, were it not for you. You old softy, Sholmes.
Aw, that's so sweet. Sherlock is like, he's kind of like a found father of sorts. If you really think about it, Iris is basically the baby Yoda of this generation of games. It's kind of their own original character, where he became a found father of this child figure and kind of taught it right from wrong and stuff. Taught it how to be a person. And what a nice tale. What a nice story for them to tell.
But I must confess, it's a weight off my mind to hear you say it.
That is true. People do pretend to have sex on Twitch and actually have sex on Twitch, so I don't know. You'd probably get banned for like a day, maybe a week, if you had e-sex on stream. Not nearly long enough.
Well then, I think this calls for a lengthy violin recital, wouldn't you say?
Oh well, the food would go cold, that's the only problem. Maybe next week, Hurley.
Are you sure a week is long enough, Iris?
Keck! Aw, what a heartwarming scene.
Even amidst the most troubling of cases, even reeling from the most shocking of revelations, returning in the evening to this suite of rooms, there's always warmth and happiness to be had. The home of the world's greatest detective, and my home too, with my greatest family.
I like how the whole theme of the game is that you should always pursue the truth no matter what, but they still refuse to tell Iris the truth about her fucking father. The whole time, we keep thinking we know the truth about her father, but nobody fucking tells her anyway. Everybody just lies to her. We don't know who it is.
Stop!
You missed the fucking blurp storm animated bit. There was a fucking blurp storm where everybody kept spamming that skeleton sound effect. Shut up, just cuz, bruh. I'm hungry too, I won't lie. I would love to eat a big banana right now. I've been having this kick lately where I've just been eating so many bananas like a fucking ape, and it's really unlocked my latent powers, I think. I've been eating at least a banana a day for like the past 2 months. It's the most godlike diet of all time. The people will tell you about like the liver king, but I am the banana king, which sounds more gayer but is a lot more healthier for you. Oh, you did occupy the blurb storm, I see. That makes more sense then. Yeah, the blurb storm was fucking quite horrifying. They were all just going by so fast, I couldn't even tell who was sending what.
This attic room has been my home and office for almost a year now. I've certainly had some unforgettable experiences whilst I've lived here. But I think now, the time has come.
No! Is he returning back to Japan?
Time to bid this place farewell.
This is I'm actually gonna fucking cry so hard.
Naruhodo. Oh, Professor! Are you alone? I didn't hear any sound from Susato's room.
Yes, Susato-san went out after dinner. She took a carriage. Something about an important matter she needed to take care of.
Ah, I see.
Radioactive. I wouldn't mind being radioactive. I think if you eat enough bananas, according to popular comic lore, I believe it just basically turns you into either the Incredible Hulk or Mr. Manhattan. So either way, it's kind of badass. Like, I would rather be Mr. Manhattan, but I'd be down to be the Hulk too. Being the Hulk doesn't sound like that bad of a gig to me. Saints 4 Re-Elected is free on the Epic Games Store. Is Saints 4 any good? I played Saints Row 1 through 3. But like after 3, I just completely fell off of them. Maybe I should give it a try if it's free. I do like the sound of free. I am a cheap scallywag and I do enjoy a free game now and then. Does it really suck? That's so depressing. Poor Saints Row 4. At least the new one's really good, right? Nobody had a problem with that game when it came out.
I wanted to thank you for what you did for your early with Iris, I mean. When the subject of her father came up.
Lord Clint Van Zeeks.
I made up my mind many years ago never to tell her who her real father was. It's what was agreed with Genshin after all.
Lord Clint Van Zeeks' final wishes before he died, you mean?
Yes, I've had to take some rather drastic steps at times to protect that secret, you know. Calling Susato back to Japan 6 months ago, for example.
That's why he did it. Oh! At the end of the first game, Susato was like randomly recalled back to Japan, and I thought it was part of some evil conspiracy, but it turns out it was just because I guess she was getting too close to the truth? I don't know.
Why not?
That's why! That is true. Johnny Gat did die, and then they made the game Gat Out of Hell to try to rectify that. I liked Saints Row 2 the best. I know that's like, wow, controversial opinion alert, but Saints Row 2 was just awesome. I fucking love Saints Row 2. That game was awesome. It was so fun. I bet it doesn't hold up super well, but like for the time, it was crazy. It was so fun, especially doing the multiplayer. Is it really like prototype? That's so weird. Yeah, the Saints Row games, like, what I do think is cool is that they never kind of got stuck in a rut. They constantly just change with every single game that comes out. For better and worse. Like, there are some dumb changes they make, but it is nice that the games never just stagnate. It's not like Pokemon where they release the same game every fucking day.
That's why. When I read Soseki-san's report about his final days in London, my heart nearly stopped. He'd stumbled across the crux of that terrible case. The dog's collar! The description of the Baskerville insignia left me in no doubt.
Baskerville.
Bastardville. If you decided to investigate that insignia, sooner or later you'd have made the connection to the Van Zeeks. And to make matters worse, Susato knew of the unpublished story as well. The story that Iris had written based on my notes from the time.
Ah, there he is. He's the Chihuahua twerking, baby. The Hound of the Baskervilles. That shit, Basker. Yeah, that was cool. Saints Row 3 did have that fucking luchador gang. I remember that. The dubstep gang was so fucking lame, though. There was like a dubstep epic hacker gang, and it was like the most 2011 thing ever. It was like the anonymous hacker 4chan as a gang. It was super lame. But the luchadors were pretty awesome. Saints Row 2 had good gangs, too. Saints Row 1 had some badass gangs. I wonder what the gangs are like in the new one. Huh, it's probably a gang of liberals with dyed purple hair and pronouns, to be honest. Knowing the games these days. There's probably a gang exclusively made of pronouns. It was disgusting. Yeah, the gang's leader was like this weird Skrillex dude. It was actually fucking sickening to look at. I never played Prototype Reanimated Bit. I have no clue if it holds up. It was one of those games I would always see. I would always see it like on the shelf at Blockbuster and shit. Actually, it was probably just GameStop. It was probably past Blockbuster's heyday. I never bought it. I never like checked out Prototype. Ah yes, the Hound of the Baskervilles.
Exactly! It was a work of fiction, but based on the grim reality of a huge beast of a dog being used as a murder weapon. A dog with the Baskerville family emblem around its neck. Armed with those two clues, I feared you and Susato might arrive at the truth. So I invented that story about having collapsed to justify her leaving London and returning to Japan at once.
He was there for the Baskerville thing? I didn't even think he was there for that.
All in aid of halting any investigations you and she might have been contemplating.
I see. Something I've never truly understood is why Susato-san came across that manuscript in Japan, though. You know, Iris is the Hound of the Baskerville story, I mean. I just said I didn't play fucking Prototype. I never played Prototype 2 either, though. I haven't played either of them. I wanted to. I like the, edgy, leather jacket with hoodie that the protagonist wear. I was like, that's a cool hoodie for him to wear. But I never played the game. It looked kind of sick. I like the idea that it's like, from my understanding, the idea was like, you would have superpowers and they would kind of mutate over the course of the game depending on what you do with them. Like if you're an evil guy, you get evil powers. If you're a good guy, you get good guy powers. You know, Iris is the Hound of the Baskerville story.
Sholmes sent it to me. That was before Susato left Japan. He was very troubled about what should be done with it, you see. I had read it and carelessly left it on my desk, which is where Susato came across it, of course.
Ah.
It was the only case Sholmes and I ever pursued that didn't record in meticulous detail. I was stunned when I discovered that young Iris had placed so much of it together from my paltry notes. Sholmes and I discussed the matter and decided that we couldn't allow the story's publication.
Oh, that's why they couldn't. I assumed it was like a mandate from the higher-ups that they couldn't talk about the Hound of the Baskervilles, since it had to do with the professor killing. But it was actually just these guys decided on that. That's really interesting. Huh. I didn't expect that at all. I assumed it was just part of the larger conspiracy of the professor stuff, where the government knew that it was no good. That's awesome. I loved the early 2000s edgelord stuff, early 2010s edgelord stuff. It was great. I miss that. I don't know. I feel like now we've kind of swung back around to that, but in a super lame way though. The edgy stuff is back, but it's couched in this sort of ironic sense of humor about it, which is very annoying. There's this very tongue-in-cheek aspect to it. I liked when stuff was just unapologetically edgy and dumb. That shit was awesome. Now you see, it's just all Rick and Morty stuff. It's we have genuinely edgy beliefs, but we're gonna couch it and dress it up as though it's just us joking around and playing. Nah, son, we just playing. We not that edgy. I want Shadow the Hedgehogs back. I want the Hedgehogs to return.
At that point, I returned the manuscript by post to Sholmes for safekeeping.
So you did all that to stop Iris from finding out the truth about her father?
That's right, because Sholmes had told me how astute she'd become. However, having witnessed events in court today, I must say my opinion has somewhat shifted.
Oh!
I think at some point in the future, the time will come for Iris to know the truth. And when it does, well, I believe it will be for the best.
I think so too. Actually, Professor, I wanted to talk to you about something too.
Judging from that expression, I'd say you've come to a decision, have you?
No, he's going back to Japan. Ryunosuke's so cringe for going back to Japan. Why would you go back to Japan if you got to be friends with Herlock Sholmes in England? Prototype is fun. I should try it sometime. I always wanted to give it a shot. I just never had it. I don't know where the fuck you play it though. I do have a PS3. I could probably stream it on that. Yes, I have come to a decision. I will be returning to you to Japan. No!
Are you quite sure?
I'm really only here as a substitute for Kazuma. But he's here in Britain now, as originally intended. Locum student Naruhodo doesn't really have a right to stay, I think.
I see.
Looking back now, when I first arrived here, in February Bam, bam, bam. It's the theme song! My becoming a lawyer just seemed to be the way things turned out. With Kazuma, Suzato-san, and Mr. Sholmes all gently pushing me in that direction. That is true, he never once made a fucking decision for his own self. I spent the best part of a year immersed in this world, but always aware of a seed of doubt inside me. Until today... Oh, until today. That was a period, not a comma. Standing in that courtroom earlier, all doubts vanished from my mind. I was totally focused. I was sure of my belief in my client, and I was sure I could see the trial through. And at the end of it, I finally realized no one else chose this path for me. I chose it myself. You did not. He did not choose it himself. He was literally told to do this every step of the way. The path of a defense lawyer, eh? Yes, that's what I am now. That's what I'll be going back with you to Japan as. And that's the path I'll be following for the rest of my life. Well, it sounds like you've made quite a resolution there. I have! Very well then. I must say, it's extremely welcome news. I shall make arrangements for your return first thing tomorrow, but I don't imagine we'll depart for a few days. Now with the symposium having been canceled now, such a shame. Never mind, I'm sure there'll be other opportunities in the future. Well then, I'll bid you good night. Wow, all copies got upgraded to the re-elected edition. Wakabi, ain't nobody's playing fucking Saints Row 4, you dog! Bark for me, Wakabi! Wakabi, if you don't type bark, bark, bark in the chat right now, your ass is getting fucking flattened like a pancake. You're gonna turn into a Wakabi disc, and I'll throw you out the window like a goddamn frisbee. Because I'm sick of hearing about fucking Saints Row. Yeah, I'll pick it up on the Epic Game Store, if I remember, which I probably won't, because I can't do it for 2.5 hours. Suzato-san! I just wanted to let you know I'm back. Yeah, I'm thinking I'm back. Suzato immediately flexes and becomes The Rock, lol. Wouldn't that be so random? What if she said banana? Like the Minions. A la the Minions. You know what's weird? The people who made the Minions are also doing like the Super Mario Brothers movie thing. But I doubt they'll have Minion crossover, which is unfortunate. Minion culture has completely died off. It's exclusively being carried on the shoulders of like soccer moms on Facebook. That is the last bastion of Minion fans that exist in this world. Even children just don't give a fuck about the Minions anymore. Now they're obsessed with other stuff. I don't know. We could play. Yeah, maybe we could play. I'm getting it for free after all. The question is, if you have it on Steam or Epic Game Store, because I wonder if they even have like cross, whatever it's called, play. Cross-platform for in-between consoles, but like also, sometimes games that you play on Epic Game Store can't cross-play with Steam, which is super dumb. Did you, hear what your father and I were discussing? I'm sorry, I did, yes. I couldn't help, but... Oh, how much did you hear? Well... Apart from the part about Iris's father, I think. In other words, from the beginning. Oh, baby, they have crossplay. Woohoo! So you've made up your mind. You'll return to Japan and play Saints Row 4. Ah, yes. I'm sorry. I really should have consulted you about it. I did want this earlier this evening, actually. But you'd already gone out. Oh no, that's quite alright. I already knew that it's what you'd decide, Naruhodo-san. You did?! Shut your mouth, you little shit! You look like Michael Jackson! She kinda looks like Michael Jackson, I won't lie. I've always thought that. Suzato-san? Yes? I suppose this means it has to be farewell soon. I suppose. You'll be a great help to Kazuma going forward. I mean, I know he's a brilliant lawyer, but he's new to the British courtroom. He'll certainly benefit greatly having a brilliant judicial assistant at his side. I'll do my very best.
I wish I could say it, but I just can't. I can't ask her to come with me. After all, she was always supposed to be coming to Britain as Kazuma's assistant.
Don't fucking post Jigger Champ, you guys. This fucking, it's not appropriate right now. It's a heartfelt scene. I don't want to fucking see the fucking guy from Saw staring at her from the corner. It makes it so fucking unsettling. All I see is the fucking Saw emoji and a bunch of pig sounds. From his pig warriors. Wakabi was talking about the pigs yesterday. Wakabi, can you go ahead and DM Brockwar all that information you told me yesterday about the pigs from Saw 3D? I'm gonna need you to let him know in like vivid, don't leave out any details either. Just let him know in vivid detail everything about Saw 3D that you were telling me yesterday. He wants to know. He told me earlier that he wants you to tell him all that stuff. It's growing late. We should both try to get some sleep. I'm sure you must be exhausted after today. I can't wait to see your fucking 800 messages, Brockwar. I want to see that like red notification of 800 in the corner. Oh yes, you're right. Before I retire, let me just say one more time. You really were quite splendid in court today. So if you ask me, anyone who thinks of you as a substitute or a locum should be ashamed of themselves.
Suzato-san.
Thank you. Aw, that was so nice. Bye, Suzato. There she goes. She's gone from the game forever now.
Oh, it's the boat! This is exactly how the first game ended. Except in the first game, Suzato was leaving.
And this time, it's the other guy. 7th of November, Port of Dover. I can't believe this day's finally got. Don't post fucking Jigger Champ. I'm sick of fucking seeing him. I'm sick of seeing the fucking conspiracy spread. He's so evil. I like it because in the chat it's like spaced out horizontally, but then in the playback for some reason, like in the on-screen chat, there's just 4 of them stacked vertically. It looks fucking epic. It looks so cool when all 4 of them are stacked up like a totem pole. A jigsaw totem pole. You're really leaving then, Runo? I really need to get an emote of him with his baseball cap too. I'm afraid so, Iris. Thank you so much for everything. I don't know what I'll do without your wonderful cooking and delicious tea. Oh, I wish you weren't going. But you have to come back and visit. Say you will. Of course, I promise.
Well, it was a very brief reunion, but it was a pleasure to pursue a case with you again after so long. For a while at least, it felt like old times. Yes, I suppose on reflection, there's something to be said for it. Having a little fun once in a while. I'll just go and say goodbye to the professor as well, I think.
All right, Iris, you do you. Hoonk! I remember Hoonk. They said that in the last game, too. In the last game, some mysterious character, we never even got to find out who it was, exclaimed, Hoonk, right at the very end. It seems like he's back. I wonder who the hell it is. That's probably the longest running mystery in this game that they just never resolve. Was who the mysterious Hoonker is. It was Suzato! She was the Hoonker the whole time! Suzato-san. Her mouth opens extremely fucking wide and covers the entire screen. Begins hoonking incessantly.
Such a beautiful.
Wakabi's DMing Big Lord.
Working on a journey, isn't it?
Keep going, Wakabi. Wakabi, keep embarking on this journey. I need you to send Brockwar so much Big Lore. He was telling me about that yesterday, so now you have to know too. It was elucidating. He let me know all the fucking mysteries. About the pigs from... That's so funny. It was so stupid. He was telling me some nonsense about the pigs.
Before I set off, I'd just like to say how thankful I am for everything you've done for me.
I'm so glad I don't have to read because they're reading it for me, because now I could just laugh to my heart's content at Wakabi's shenanigans.
Give my warmest regards to Kazuma, please.
That's what he told me. That is what he told me too.
Actually, I think you ought to give him your regards in person, don't you?
Don't you? Why does she sound like fucking Shrek?
Sorry?
Ryunosuke,
Yeah, go ahead and DM it to Just Cuz Bro too. Wakabi, I'm gonna need you to DM that to every single person who types in the chat room for the whole day. Just tell everybody the pig lore so they can know. Everybody wants to know.
Kazuma, what are you doing here?
What are you doing here? This fucking, it sounds like we just, hold on a minute. It sounds like we just fucking slipped into the world of Xenoblade Chronicles. I hate these voices. Their voices are far too British. That's literally me when I see Wakabi as DMing people pig lore. I immediately start kicking.
do you really think I'd miss my best friend's departure?
Okay, Wakabi's cleaning his trough real fast. Everybody, hang on. Wakabi's cleaning his fucking pig trough before he can share the pig lore. He's gotta scrub it out with soap and water.
To be honest, I'd been looking forward to our wild time tearing up the streets of Her Majesty's capital, but,
I hate these voices, man. That doesn't sound like Ryunosuke.
Well, we'll have to save that for another time. Personally, I'm looking forward to facing you in court again.
me too. But, we're both defense lawyers, so,
I'm going to become a prosecutor.
What? Wasn't he a prosecutor the whole time? I'm pretty sure he was a prosecutor ever since he started in London. I guess that's a big twist! What do you call it? The voice acting seems very arbitrary when they decide to do it. I like it, because it gives me a little break, but sometimes the voice acting just like randomly kicks
I'll
in.
stay in Lord Van Zeek's tutelage for the time being, but before long, I intend to be just as formidable as the Reaper himself.
Wow.
oh, I see.
Actually, Ryunosuke, I have a favor to ask.
Name it.
Please DM people pig lore.
I'd like you to take care of this for me for a while.
What? The monkey sword Kazuma? But that's his favorite sword.
Because I've seen it now. I've seen what's inside me. The demon that reared its ugly head that day.
Oh my god. It's playing the weird Japanese people music. I thought this was Susato's theme song.
It was only for the briefest of moments. The last time I came face to face with that inspector.
Oh yeah, he tried to murder him. I forgot about that. They should. They should get my ass in that booth. I don't care which character they have me voice. I'll do Iris. I don't mind. I'd be any of them.
Unmistakable. I wanted to kill him. I've always known there are demons that live inside people. And now I know there is one in me. The fact that it very nearly consumed me is something I'll carry with me until the end of my days.
Hey.
While I devote my life to fighting those whose demons have got the better of them. As a prosecutor,
Wow.
So,
What a great
that's what
conviction.
you've resolved to do, is it?
He was in England for fucking 5 days before he got subsumed by the fucking white demons.
until I'm ready.
Exactly. He became a white devil now.
To slay it once and for all.
Demon Slayer! Oh yeah! Let's go Bowser Sweep! Woo! You gotta get Bobby Scar, DM him the video, spam it to him. Leave the video link and then put a bunch of pig facts from Saw. Thank you, Kazuma.
Of course I will. I'll keep it by my side.
Kazuma, I'm sorry, but you need to buy a bigger shirt, bro. You don't fit in size XXS anymore. You're gonna have to move up to extra small, my dude. This shirt just doesn't fit. It's actually fucking tearing at the seams with his big beer gut.
Until we meet again, then. You have your path to follow, and I have mine.
Naruhodo-san,
It's Susato!
the path you're going to follow from now on, I wonder if I might follow it at your side, and unless I'd be a burden.
She's going back to Japan! Oh my god.
I mean, I would very much like you to come with me. But aren't you?
Stop kicking!
Predictable, Ryunosuke.
I am?
Honestly, you never change at all. But that's what I like about you.
You mean you knew about this?
You knew? Yeah, she
It
wasn't
was the
staying
evening
here in
after Lord
fucking
Van Ziek's
England, bro.
trial
Come
came to
on.
an end. She came to see me at the prosecutor's office.
Really? Or when I had that conversation with Professor Mikotoba?
That's how you pronounce Mikotoba the whole time? Man, I suck at pronouncing Japanese names. You're supposed to say Mikotoba. That doesn't even make any fucking sense. Mikotoba.
So, you'd go with Ryunosuke back to Japan?
She wears Kanye West boots, I'm not gonna lie. She exclusively wears Kanye West boots.
I know it's unfair of me to follow my own interests like this.
Coming here especially
Does
to
he
tell me.
know? He does not know.
You're a stickler for etiquette, aren't you?
Ryunosuke's ass did not know.
What are his feelings?
We've never discussed it, of course, and Naruhodo-san has made no such suggestion.
What are these accents? I don't understand what the accents of these characters are.
I worry that perhaps I'd be a burden to him.
He's just as much of a stickler for etiquette as you are. He'd never say anything before he was asked.
Wow.
But I'd feel happy knowing you were with him. Look out for him on my behalf, will you?
That's so nice. So the only person who's actually staying in England is fucking Kazuma, who was supposedly dead for the better part of this story. He was dead from episode 2 of the first game to the second to last episode of this game. He was just dead that entire time. And it turns out he's the only person staying in England. Who knew? All the other Japanese are going back to their little island. That's so tragic, man. All the fucking Holmes's friends are abandoning him. Boots with the fur! That's what I'm saying, man. Everybody in this game has immaculate levels of drip, I won't lie. The drip levels in this game are off the charts.
What do you think, Naruhodo-san?
With you by my side, no trial would seem too daunting. So if you're willing, I'd be honored if you'd come with me. Together we can take on the world.
Wow.
I'm terribly incompetent, but if you'll have me, I'd be delighted.
She is extremely... If there's one thing you could say about Susato, it's that she is incredibly incompetent. That's not a lie.
Not at all. If anyone's terribly incompetent, it's me.
Girls, you're both incompetent.
What's wrong?
Your luggage, Susato-san. There's no time. The ship's going to set sail any minute now.
It's all right. There's no need to worry. As it happens, my luggage is already on board too.
It is?
It is? He sounds so stupid.
Your fine judicial assistant.
I hate his voice.
And as always, I
It is? Susato, stop honking! I'm sick of her fucking honking at me.
Your ship's about to leave!
That's Iris's voice? What? This, if they give Sholmes a voice, I'm gonna fucking lose it. Maybe he already had a voice and I don't remember. It's jarring. It's jarring to hear them finally have voices.
Look after yourself, Ryunosuke.
Kazuma, draw your sword.
Oh shit, a fight to the death at the last minute. Now that's a fucking last minute twist. Cutscene! I can't believe it's finally the end. It actually was the finale this time. Who knew?
One day, when our paths cross, once more, we'll fight a duel of words across the courtroom. A day I eagerly await as a lawyer.
Dang. I can't wait till they make Ace Attorney Chronicles 3.
Partner.
I doubt they'll ever make a sequel to this one, though, to be honest. This feels pretty conclusive. I don't think we're getting a sequel to the prequel games. Man, I can't. This is the last Ace Attorney game they've localized too, I think. There's no more on Steam anyway. It's pissing me off. It's pissing me off that this is the last one ever.
As if I could. Ryunosuke.
And Mr. Sholmes.
There he
Thank you
is.
so much.
It's
I'm
Sholmes.
very much indebted to you.
Indeed, Mr. Naruhodo. I believe you are.
That's the worst Sherlock Holmes voice I've ever heard, bro. Get the guy from the Crazy Russian games, man. Get the guy from the Crazy Russian games who says, "But you are Mexican." Come on! Fuck! That actually is terrible. That makes me so mad. Is it just me too, or do they all sound exactly the same? I feel like my voices are more varied and it's one person doing it. These are 3 separate voice actors who sound the fucking same.
I'll never forget all you've done for me during my time in London.
Bye-bye, Sherlock Holmes. I miss him, man. I want to go on the boat. Yeah, Ryunosuke is, I think, supposed to be related to Phoenix Wright. Because Phoenix Wright is not... It was like a localization thing. In Japan, he's called something something. But it's like really similar to this guy's name. It's like something Naruhodo, I think. So this guy is supposed to be like his distant ancestor. But it doesn't make any sense because in the US, we just decided to call it Phoenix Wright and have everything take place in America. But in the Japanese version, he's supposed to be a Japanese lawyer in Japan. So this is supposed to be like his origin story, his ancestor. It's all very confusing because of the localization. I agree. I think my voices are way better.
Right. I should like to think you will remember your debt of gratitude.
That is not a Sherlock Holmes voice, man. He's not nearly sassy enough.
Especially when I visit you in your country. What?
That was kind of sassy. I'll give him credit for that delivery.
The truth is, although many are ignorant of the fact, the world is far smaller than most folk realize.
Well,
That was
you
cryptic.
came to Japan one day.
That was... Maybe they are setting up a sequel. That was incredibly cryptic.
Oh, yes. Would welcome you with...
Oh, yes!
Mr. Sholmes.
Oh, yeah!
Oh, that sounds wonderful. I can't wait.
I wonder if they are setting up a sequel. That would be so
In that case,
weird.
let us conclude that this is to be merely a brief parting, my dear fellows.
Nah, bro, you suck. That delivery stunk, man.
That brings us to the end of my adventures in Great Britain.
Woo! That was so good. That was a fucking great one, dude. This was honestly an amazing Ace Attorney game, too.
Brought me halfway around the world those many months ago.
The 2, like, timeline thing was such a cool plot point. The fact that there was, like, that murder 10 years ago that was super important. That was really good.
Still, I'm confident this won't be my last meeting with the friends I've made in London.
I think Ace Attorney 3 is still my favorite, but this one was really good.
No doubt, the first words I'll hear will be...
Objection! It's not gonna say that.
Come, the game is afoot.
That's a good one, too. That's a good one, too. Nice. That's a good first words.
The ship, with our friends from the east, sailed steadily towards the distant horizon.
Who the fuck is this talking? I will. When part 3 drops in 10 years, I'll have to go back and find my old voices. I'll have no recollection of what I was
Times
doing.
may change, but a steadfast friendship will remain true, Wilson.
Oh, that was Mikatoba. That's Mikatoba's actual
We
voice.
have but to gently
Close our eyes,
and we are with our companions once more.
So I do just that.
I hope Iris is the villain of Ace Attorney 3.
I can hear his strong, familiar voice ring out.
This is where they say objection.
Objection!
Yeah! Woohoo! Let's go, Ace Attorney!
Again, Bruno.
I'm a little bit pissed that Iris gets the last line in the game, but that was so good. That was fucking awesome. That was fantastic. That was super good. Shu Takumi, that was a great one. Wow, that was super good. I like that a lot. I was just really impressed by the, how interconnected, like, all the cases were in this. I'm pretty sure even random case. I've been thoroughly inundated with stuff, but I'm no purveyor of electrical goods. And what of the promised closed court? Anyway, I've decided an absence from London is in order. A sojourn in distant climes. The Empire of Japan, perhaps.
I understand that wardrobe class incurs no charge whatsoever.
He's got a fucking stowaway. That's awesome. This guy killed it, Kazuya Nuri. That was the character designer. The character designs in this game were great, except for her. She looks stupid.
I gave a little note to Hurley the other day. It just said, "Thank you for everything, Daddy." But it made Hurley cry. And I gave him some lotion I'd invented as well, to dye his hair red safely. But he said that it might make him cry too, so he'd rather not use it.
Music by Yasamusa Kaduga. I wonder if that's the same dude who did the original Ace Attorney games music. The music in this game was super good. The music in these games are always amazing.
In those days, when I was known as the Reaper, I felt your presence at my side. Once, unable to bear the burden of that grim pseudonym, I even retired from the courtroom. Despite everything, I still wear your prosecutor's badge with pride. But the darkness that once beset me is no more, as you too are no more. In the words of a young foreign friend of mine, I must stride forward toward a brighter future.
Let's go Van Zieks. Van Zieks was great. Honestly, he might be my favorite prosecutor across like all the games. It's between him and the guy with the cyborg head from Ace Attorney 3 with that drank coffee.
The boss left a note for me, you know, and I can read every letter now, from A to Z. It's cleared a load of stuff up. The boss was trying to protect me, see? And that's exactly what me and Chief Inspector Toby are gonna keep doing for Londoners.
Oh good, she decided to be the policeman after all.
I only wish I could have said how grateful I was before he, you know.
Poor Gregson, man. I can't believe they killed off Gregson. That was honestly kind of shocking. That was definitely the most like shocking kill of the game, was when Gregson was found both dead and red-headed. There he is, he's back, baby.
Gina, the truth is, I'm not the upstanding fella you think I am. You might be a diver at heart, but it's a good heart. You've reminded me I need to be true to myself. I've got one more job to take care of before it's tar-tar to London town for the foreseeable. And then, I've got to complete your education in the art of detection, a la Gregson, as they say.
Nah, bro, you got murdered. Sorry, dude. Gregson got extremely murdered. He got murdered by like a giant Japanese lummox. Yeah, it's Ouchie.
Your Excellency, this man is accused of illegal entry. Objection! Quite an overstatement. Overruled. The minister has been detained in Britain anyway.
Who is this catfish counsel for the defense? And women are forbidden in the courtroom.
Oh, really? My friend Suzato-san is in the British courtroom all the time.
Dude, this is going way too fast. I cannot keep up. Perhaps I should have engaged the services of a regular legal team. The text is fucking flying by. For the only time in the game, it's going so fast. I'm not gonna lie, I forgot that girl existed. Remember me? I did not remember her. Oh, it's the creepy, weird little goth girls.
Mama, is it true about Japanese people? Are they experts at filleting corpses?
Yes, they are. Fish corpses on the whole.
I'd like to hone my own filleting skills. You don't mind, do you, Mama?
Yes, I do. I'm not a corpse yet, am I?
No. And I'm glad.
She's such a fucking psycho. Those two were complete fucking psychos, the autopsy girls. They were just totally nuts. I do like this wrap-up thing they always do in these games where you see all the little side characters again. It's Hairbrain!
Here I am again in Great Britain on the invitation of my friend. He sent me a very nice letter saying he'd like to show me around now that everything was settled. But what have I done? I was so excited I picked this splendid hotel and now I can't afford the bill. Oh, Barack, come to my rescue again, please. I wish I could just vanish into air sometimes.
They're so bad though. All they do is want to vivisect people and commit crimes. Is that really so bad? Is that really so wrong, Your Honor? They didn't do nothing. Oh, mama!
When I went to make the waxwork impression of the killer in the cemetery, I realized what had happened. But even in the witness stand of the highest court in the land, I could never speak of it. The Lord Chief Justice and I had struck a bargain, you see. For a faithful reproduction of the visage, there is nothing we two spells would not do. There she is. I forgot about her. I don't know how I did. I don't know how I forgot about the baddest character in the whole game. Yeah, that was absolutely the baddest character of all. Was the witch girl. It's Daily Vigil. Everyone calls me gossip. I sell jaunty little tidbits to pass them. Oh no, De Rossi got arrested too. Everyone call me Peppino. I sell the spaghetti. Everyone, they call me. No, I cannot do it. This is. I can't believe they literally had the Italian character say, I sell the spaghetti. Oh, Daily, how charming. You've made lots of new friends here, I see. Yes, and when we're released, we're all going to strike it rich together. Okay, Brockhor, and you took it way too far this time. You took it way too far this time. I sell the spaghetti, I'll have you know. I love how racist this game is. It actually speaks to me on a deep level how racist it is. He actually said, I sell the spaghetti. Amazing. When I was accepted on the foreign study tour, I knew I had to take it. However it might have ended, I knew I wanted you there to see it. If I'd ended up in the dock, there's no one I would have rather had defending me. But now, thanks to you, there's a new path I want to take. I'm sure we'll meet again in the courtroom, my friend. Until then, I leave Kuruma in your care. They're not making a sequel to this game. I'm so sorry. The writers were like, can we please have a sequel? Please? Your ass is not getting a sequel, bro. That smarmy motherfucker, that's the last time you're ever gonna see him. His ass does not get a sequel. No chance. I've made some tea, Naruhodo-san. It's important that you rest while you can. Once we arrive in Japan, you shall be busy establishing your new office. I'm so delighted to be accompanying you. After all, your talents have been recognized by a great detective. Because you really are the greatest of lawyers. A great ace attorney, some might say. Wow, smooth title drop, Susato. You definitely didn't fucking force that one in there. Smooth fucking title drop. You really are the great Ace Attorney Chronicles 2. Return to Japan. Back to the hood. Aw, remember that guy, the big fucking red oaf with the mustache? He was the best character of all. Oh, why'd they cut him out of the photo, though? It's the cat! Oh, I love the cat. What was his name? Gumto? What a great ending. What a great Ace Attorney. Let's go, Ace Attorney. That was so good. Yeah, that one was super good. That might be my second favorite Ace Attorney game, after 3. I think 3 is still the GOAT. Because it had the dumbest, most craziest stuff. Remember, 3 was the one where, like, that little psychic girl had possessed somebody? And then there was blood on the snow that the guy couldn't see because he had robot eyes. It was all very dumb, but it was awesome. I loved that one. It's the cats! There's even more now! They had a cat baby! Maybe the cat baby already existed, I don't remember. There's all the fucking stupid characters we had to see along the way. That's why he had 3 cats at the very end. I was wondering why he had 3. That's right, when he went back to Japan, he brought the kittens, right? But he left the actual cat behind. I remember now. That was all in the first game. The first Ace Attorney Chronicle. Kill yours! Bye, Iris and, whatever that guy's name is. Nobody remembers that guy's name, the world-famous detective guy. It's Olive Green! Olive Green was the GOAT, bro. She looks like a Moomin character, as we established. And there's that bee woman, I remember her. Yeah, there was some memorable crew in this game, like that guy who does the robot all the time. And his famous cat that wears a bow tie. And Sephiroth, never forget Sephiroth. Classic Ace Attorney character. The racist Italians, I remember them. That was so great. I respect a game that holds a deep racism towards the Italian people.
I always think that's charming, personally. And there's the serial killers. The serial killer crew, as they're known. Bye, Van Zeeks. Take a bow, bud! Yeah, it's Beppo! Beppo the goat, bro. He's gone! Oh no, he hid. How is Daily Vigil on the screen twice at the same time? That is true. All the people that they serial killed had it coming, let's be honest. They really didn't do anything wrong. I'm making a spaghetti! I love the character that says I spell it a spaghetti. What a great character trait. Honestly, you can't really make a British game without including Britain's vehement hatred of other Europeans. Oh, it's Gregson. Poor Gregson. And then these they're just both busting a jig for no reason. I love to see that. They're both just doing the fucking Baki dance towards the camera in CGI. That's the fucking big oaf who beat Gregson to death for no reason. Fuck this guy. This guy was a complete douchebag. He was honestly the most villainous character of all, because he just did it out of being a huge coward. At least this guy had a game plan. I can respect a man with ambition. He had a game plan. He was in there to change the system. The fucking big Japanese ape was just there to enrich himself. Yeah, they were definitely doing the Dappo dance, I'm not gonna lie. It's our weird friend Kazuma, who was dead but wasn't actually dead but lost his memory but regained his memory because he saw his dad's face of a wax sculpture and his dad was a serial killer who wasn't a serial killer because he was framed by his friend who was a big ape. Everybody remembers that character. He's iconic. Let's go Capcom. Capcom putting out bangers lately, man. I gotta give Capcom credit. You know, there was like a good... Oh, that scared the shit out of me for some reason. I saw that like on my OBS. I could see my own webcam because I switched back to OBS mode. And I just saw like a tiny man marching towards me and it scared me. That actually freaked me the fuck out. My brain for a split second did not recognize what was happening. It was horrifying. Bye, Ace Attorneys. Good chronicle, bro. Great chronicle. The judge! It didn't even show the judge a single time. I'm fucking pissed off. It should have ended on the judge. But brava! Regardless. Fantastic ending. That was very good. I actually am shocked that it wrapped up in a way that was cool and satisfying because there were so many loose ends as of like 2 hours ago. It really wrapped up nicely considering how much there was to wrap up. I can't really think of any loose ends that never got tied up. There were a lot, though, to be fair, so maybe I just forget a bunch of them. It was a lot of mysteries to solve. XQC just chatting. 69,000 viewers. Let's go, XQC! It's because he has swag, Brock, or he has what's known as unspoken riz. Ever heard of it? Let's see what happens in the extras. Taylor. Iris's homemade suit. Oh, it's just little costumes for you to wear. Okay. So there's like Iris outfits for everybody. And the Shom's outfit too. Fair enough. Oh, concept art. That's cool. Wow, they have like concept art for all the characters. Wow, that was all the different Ryanosuke's before they decided on one. Dude, look at the fucking dork. Look at the literal fucking nerd emoji in the top middle with the glasses. That one stinks.
I wrestled with various options to create something that was realistic and faithful to the period.
This is the female lead, Susato. Oh, there's no... Oh, there's probably the alternate ones down here. No, they just decided on one right... Oh, they're there. Okay, those are the alternate Susatos. This is an early proposal sketch when it wasn't yet clear how folksy to make Susato. I see. Oh, interesting. At first she was meant to be like kind of a... Not as fancy. XQC? What's wrong with XQC? I literally don't know fucking anything about XQC. I vaguely know what he looks like. I know he's like the ninja style guy where he just has like annoying, really bright dyed hair so that children will watch. But besides that, I don't know anything about him. I was careful to preserve the essential features of the great detective. That's great. Yeah, they did. I think the design of Sholmes was actually pretty awesome. It was super goofy, but it was like instantly recognizable. The only part I don't get is the blonde hair. I guess just because they think all Westerners have blonde hair, but yeah, he was a good design. And that's the goggles. Sholmes' goggles. This is Sholmes' indoor attire. His hair is styled as wisps of smoke. Oh, because he smokes the pipe all the time. That's cool. Wow, there was so much care put out. Look at that fucking Sholmes. That's fucking busted ass. That's actual Sholmes. And the one we see in the game is Instagram filter Sholmes. This is him pre-anime filter that he put over his face. That's awesome. See, the one on the left looks a lot more like how I would expect him to look like. That's cool. And no, let's be honest, nobody cares about fucking Iris Wilson. That was the original Iris looked way cooler, I'm not gonna lie. That would have been a way better look for it. As it is, she kind of mostly looks like Mickey Mouse, if you could believe that. That's so cool how they include all the concept art. Look at the nerd! That would have been awesome! Oh, I would have actually liked him so much better. Oh, I would have liked that being so much better if he was just a huge nerd. It is cool that they include all this concept art though, because it's really interesting to see like the iterations the characters took. One of the things that they do a good job of in Ace Attorney generally, but especially in this one, is just like instantly you can tell what a character is like just by looking at them, right? They do a really good job of like visual storytelling. I took inspiration from werewolves, fallen angels, and the like, bringing lots of dark elements into the man's design. I see. I would have thought vampire. I thought he was supposed to be like a vampire type dude. Oh, and those are the original designs. His hair was kind of cool originally. I would have liked that better. I need to portray a sad and tortured soul as well. Interesting. What? That was the original Van Zieks? This is a very early illustration. Wow. That's so cool. Oh my god. This actually looks like fucking DeviantArt Van Zieks. It's so interesting that this is like the same artist the whole time, you know? Like, they went through so many different iterations of each character before they settled on one. Imagine how different of a fucking game it would be if that fucker in the middle was Van Zieks the whole time. The like toothpaste Sephiroth. Look at this! What? That's sick! That's fucking awesome. This is a proposal drawing I made before settling on the final design. Personally, I was quite fond of this one. I am too. I think this design is actually way cooler. That's super sick. Yeah, I don't get the German helmet either, but it's cool. The whole thing about Van Zieks is like, even his name seems very German. I thought that was going to be his whole thing, was that he was an outsider too, but no, yeah, he is English. He is just part of the English aristocracy. Oh, they don't have any more. Young Mikitoba looking so fire, bro. Young Mikitoba actually looks way too swaggy. There's Jigoku. That's so cool. Oh, it's the evil Raven Lady, too. They don't really have any, like, before and afters of the Raven Lady, sadly. The Judge! Let's go, Judge. That's so cool. Wow. I guess we'll switch to Pokemon. We're gonna switch to Pokemon next, once I finish, looking at all the, like, concept art for the characters. Tobias Gregson. I designed Gregson as a stereotypical Scotland Yard detective. Yeah, that's fair. And there's our boy Strongheart. That was the bad. This Egbert Benedict was the most fearsome villain from the first game. which is hilarious because they actually named him fucking Egbert Benedict, and he turned out to be like a really ferocious villain. And his name was Egbert Benedict! He was a good character, though. He was a surprisingly good villain, despite being named Egbert Benedict. Wow, that's it. Okay, so that's all the art stuff. Sweet. Nice. Good game. Good game, Ace Attorney Chronicles 2. I will wait with great anticipation to see what the next Ace Attorney thing they bring over to the States is. Because, I'm excited to play more of them. I really like this franchise a lot. I'm hoping it's one of the mainline games next, honestly. Because there is a ton, apparently. There's like a ton of Ace Attorney games, but we only have the 3 so far, actually, like, brought over to modern platforms. So, we'll see. We'll see what the next Ace Attorney adventure is. But until then, that's all the Ace Attorney we have. So no more. Ace Attorney is officially over as of now. Hope y'all enjoyed it, though. Hope y'all enjoyed Ace Attorney. We'll switch to Pokemon for the rest of the night because we still have like 2 hours left. But yeah. I'll be honest, I'm kind of glad that it ended just because it's been going on for so fucking long. This playthrough, I'm just glad to have done, you know, because it's been super long. It was a really good game, though.